Hello and welcome to Actual Play UK. You're very welcome. Did you know that today is the 30th of October, and that means it's the day before Halloween? Ooh. If you have never watched any of our streams before, where have you been? What have you been doing? It's all great. We stream all kinds of different TTRPG content. Make sure that you are doing all the various Twitch things you need to do, which have completely flown out of my head. I think following, that's one. I think you can also subscribe. That's another one. If you are a regular, you're probably looking at me and going, I don't know who you are. I'm Josh. I'm the DM from Dice and a Slice. I'm stepping in today to run a bit of Shiver for you. Shiver, a wonderful game created by Peril Games. I could tell you a little bit more about myself, but I won't, because I'm joined tonight by four fabulous, gorgeous, fantastic people who have created characters equally as gorgeous, fantastic, and wonderful as they are. And I think we need to first introduce John.
Oh,
John, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am John. Goodbye.
Hi, John.
Oh, no. And he's off.
Roll credits.
Hi, John.
I am John. I am the curator of Actual Play UK. So you can blame me if everything's rubbish. No, you can't.
And we do.
I mean, for me, it very much feels like, you know, when you're sitting in an office doing your work and then your manager kind of like stands behind you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, don't
Anyway.
worry. Don't worry, I'm not
the
judging
vibe
you.
at all.
But I am taking notes.
Excellent. Maybe you'll learn something.
Maybe. Oh! Easy. Yeah, basically, I do Actual Play UK, and I'm also part of the podcast, The Trolls of the Tonne Bridges.
Woo! Excellent. John, I've got a question for you.
Do you?
What was the first horror movie you ever watched?
Oh, I remember years and years and years and years ago, I watched a horror film with my next door neighbour who was like, I don't know, we were both like probably like 8 or something like that. Absolutely scared the hell out of me. I don't even know what it was, but the main thing I remember is there was some weird demon woman.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Haunts my dreams to this day. It was some
horrifying.
like terrible, I don't know, awful straight-to-video rubbish.
Awful straight-to-video rubbish. It would be a
Yes.
great name for a horror movie, actually.
It would.
Great. Thanks, John. Really appreciate
okay.
it. Thanks,
No, thank
and
you.
thanks. Hey, thanks for being so great at running stuff as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. You too.
Can we get snaps for John? Snaps for John. Moving.
It said we are stuttering very slightly, and I don't know why. I'll try and fix that whilst you guys go on.
It's fine. Don't worry. It's just computers.
Yay!
Combustors.
We're gonna next move across to the wonderful Zack. Hi, Zack.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you. Very
Pleased to hear
excited
it.
to be here.
Oh.
I, for the audience at home, I am from Realms of Peril and Glory, which is an actual play show where we do lots of different game systems and full sound design, beautiful original music that is composed for the show. I drop my pen midstream, and we leave that in every time.
That's
just
exciting.
for your listening
Every
pleasure.
stream?
Every single stream. We don't stream. It's just a
You
podcast.
don't stream, but you always drop your pen midstream. Love that.
Yeah, check us out at realmspod.com. That's it. That's all I got
great.
for you.
Hey, Zack, I got a question for you, bud.
Tell me.
When was the last time you watched a horror movie?
Oh, I think the last time I watched a horror movie was when oh, this can't be right. I think it was when I went and saw Scream 6 in the cinemas
Have there
earlier
been
this
6
year.
screams?
Oh, they're all amazing.
Oh,
Every
isn't
one
it?
of them.
So many.
Every one of them is phenomenal. I am a diehard stan of the Scream franchise.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Scream franchise, a strong recommendation. This podcast, you can tell I used to do podcasts.
Yeah.
This stream brought to you by the Scream franchise.
Thanks,
if we can
Nev
get
Campbell.
the paperwork sorted by the time it goes live.
For legal reasons, that is a joke.
Everything we say today represents the opinions and interests, of me and me alone. Right. Litigation aside, let's talk to Chloe. Hi, Chloe.
Hello.
Love your hat.
Thank you very much. It may not last the whole stream because it's slowly falling off my head, but we'll get there.
That's right. I probably won't last the whole stream either. Chloe, who are you? Tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
Yeah, hi, I'm Chloe. I am from the podcast Deck of Many Aces, which is an actual play D&D podcast made with actual asexuals and aromantics, which is very exciting because I believe last week, when this airs, would have been Ace Week. So we'll have big old stuff going on in Ace Week. That'll be very exciting.
That's very exciting. And if you wanted to find that, you can search.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's a Deck of Many Aces on pretty much everything. I literally last week went through and set up every single social media platform that I know. Deck of Many Aces, no spaces, no capitals, just as it sounds. That's it.
That's great. Thank you, Chloe. Chloe,
Yes.
if you had to put yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being big old scaredy cat, 1 being the bravest brave person, where do you fall?
Ooh. See, it highly depends because I love me like a horror vibe and like genre, but I would be an absolute 10 for jump scares.
I'm with you on this.
And tension. So leveling it out, I'd say maybe a 6, maybe a 6.5.
Okay. 6.5. Interesting. I'm going to write that down.
Don't know what I've got myself into here, but here we are.
6.5 fear. Last but by no means least, Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Yeah, not too bad at all.
Great. Dan, who are you? Where can we find you? What's going on?
I'm Dan. I am the dungeon master for the actual play D&D group called Tales on Tap, who stream weekly over on Twitch. And when this airs, which is really exciting, so when this airs, you can catch us in 2 weeks' time when our big new campaign kicks off, which is going to be November 14th.
Amazing.
Which is going to be really, really fun. Homebrew World, all fun stuff. And this is my first appearance on Actual Play UK, so thank you so much for having me on today.
Hey, absolute pleasure. Hey, Dan.
Yes, John.
When was the last time you were truly terrified?
Wow.
About half an hour ago, isn't it?
Don't say an hour ago.
So everybody gets the good questions because it's my first time. I see how this is. Initiation
Now tell us
time.
something
I like this.
deeply personal.
Yeah. When was the last time I was terrified? That's a really good question. I nearly got into a car crash a few weeks ago. That was truly terrifying. Weirdly, I survived. Yeah, fine. Everything was good, but it was a whole brake lock on a motorway when it was wet situation, so kind of like shifted 2 lanes. It was great. But yeah, truly terrifying. But it was fine in the end. All good.
Oh my
Great.
god.
I'm glad I went with that question. It kept it really light.
Yeah.
We're very pleased to have you with us here today, Dan, God willing. I didn't do a great job of introducing myself, and that's because there's a lot of stuff that I want to say. Like I say, I'm Josh. I'm the DM for Dice and a Slice, the only D&D 5e podcast powered by baked goods. Every episode starts with a 5 to 20 minute diatribe about the various baked goods we bring. It's an entirely homebrew world, and because we started it during the pandemic, it is of course about piracy. It's great. We're on a 2nd season. We've got loads of stuff coming out, and we are going to be releasing some Halloween special episodes using the City of Mist system, which is another system that I love, along with Shiver. We normally do D&D. It's great fun. Another member of Dice and a Slice would have been on the quiz that Jordan ran. You may remember Alicia, who was, I believe, unnecessarily treated.
well,
I think.
Yes.
I think every quiz needs a heal, and Alicia was allocated that, which is fine. Unfortunately, she's also my fiance, so
Yeah.
So Jordan, What's up?
Dude.
Husky.
Love you, Jordan. Fantastic. Now, John, what question did I ask you? I asked you...
what's the first horror film that I watched? One
great
that
question.
I do not remember.
The first horror film I ever watched was Cloverfield. And it was at a friend's... So I'm currently 28. It was at a friend's birthday, and we were camping outside, and we watched it on a laptop, and I did not sleep for 2 whole calendar days. Zack, what question did I ask you?
Oh, you asked me the last time I watched a horror film.
So the last time I watched a horror film was
Cloverfield?
at a friend's birthday
It was
party
last night.
For Cloverfield. Not strictly true. The last time I watched a movie that terrified me was Cloverfield. The last horror movie I watched was Alien, which I watched for the first time 3 months ago.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah.
How was that experience as an adult? Just to derail the stream.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, sure.
Have you heard of it? It's great.
Yeah.
It's a little known film.
little
independent thing.
indie joint. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've recently been trying to get myself more and more into horror because as a genre, both literary and film and everything, it does so much so interestingly and so well. However, I am a big scaredy person, which brings me to Chloe. The question I asked you was...
Yeah, it was on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being a complete scaredy cat. How scared are you generally?
This dial goes all the way up to 11. I, for example, can't watch TV after a certain time because they start showing horror movie trailers, and that's my evening ruined. I've had to like change filters and stuff on my various browsers so I don't get adverts for horror things.
And so you decided to run Shiver?
Yes.
No, this makes sense. This does
Isn't
make
it
sense.
fascinating?
The
Because you're in
stunt title on
control.
YouTube. The stunt title for this on YouTube should be like "Scaredy Cat" or equivalent derogatory term runs a horror game. Like that's the stunt. That's how you sell it on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And the what's it called? The thumbnail is just like
Yeah, it's a big face.
Screenshot.
Dan, what was the question that I asked you?
When were you last terrified?
Oh, such a great question. Last night I came home.
Oh, whoa.
No,
Can we
no.
just address the fact that I couldn't say last night, but you could.
I said don't say an hour ago. Last night I came home. I actually got home at 3 a.m. Because I'd been working, and I'd driven 3.5 hours. I'm working at Alton Towers. Big up Alton Towers. Please do sponsor us. Got home, sat down to have what I like to call dark lunch. And my partner had bought Halloween decorations that I didn't know had been put out. Sat down in the dark with my little bowl of food and turned on my phone light to see the table covered in little spider candle holders. And all of the poo left my body.
Oh wow.
I've never heard
That's
someone
in
describe it
mind.
in that way before, but I love it.
Oh, if you're a fan of things being described in unusual ways, how about I introduce you to Shiver? Shiver is a game created by Powerful Games. It uses an unusual dice system. We call it Rolling the Bones. They have specially created 6-sided dice that have different pictures on them. Thank you, Zack.
Beautiful model. And here's what you would have won.
Here's what you could have won, yeah. And
Here's
a
what I
cuddly
made
toy.
earlier.
Yes, uses unusual dice, uses D6s with pictures and a D8 with pictures on it as well. These are used to try and get as many matching pictures corresponding to the type of die roll you are asked for. The 6 different faces of the die all have different meanings, and I could go into it, but really that's less fun than doing it as we go along. Like you're in a video game and you get a little pop-up that says, "Did you know?" You can
then if
stop
you're like
playing
me-
at any time.
You miss it.
Stop
Yeah,
tutorial.
you-
Stop tutorial.
beep, beep, yeah.
I'll just worry if he
Press
turns around at
X to
one point and
down.
goes, quick save.
Quick save. Take this, you might need it. No, so those 6 sides of the die correspond to the 6 main stats in Shiver, which are grit, wit, smarts, heart, luck, and strange. Like the Doctor. Yes, that's right, Dr. Heart. Pause for laugh.
We're getting them in early, everyone.
Oh yeah. Get the nervous giggles out. You roll the dice, and based on how many pictures you get, that's how successful it is. Shiver is a fail-forward system, so while you may not succeed on a die roll, you may get information, or you may work out how to do something. If I ask you to do a grit check, you'll roll the number of grit dice you have available to you according to your character sheet. And let's say you're opening a door. This is the example they give in the book. If you're opening a door, ask you for a grit check. You get no grits, but you get lots of smarts. You hammer against the door, but you can't kick it open. You look down and realize it's a pull.
Nice.
Shiver. A terrifying example. That is more or less it. There are various different archetypes in Shiver, and we don't really have time to go into it. I thoroughly recommend you look into it so that you can find out how close I was to the rules. There is another feature that I would like to briefly talk about, and that is the Doom Clock. Thank you, John. The Doom Clock is a clock in the game of Shiver. The Doom Clock will tick up if people fail a roll with a strange die in it, or if they have, let's say, a character class that John picked, whose abilities tick up the Doom Clock. There are ways to reset the Doom Clock or put things back by using luck points. But what does it mean? Well, Shiver is a game created for horror, specifically cinematic horror. It does things in a fascinating and fantastic way. The Doom Clock is a way of making sure that things stay just as spooky as they need to be. If the clock ticks up 15 pips and reaches quarter past, then something bad will happen. If it gets to half past with 30 pips, something worse will happen. If it gets to quarter to, something even worse happens. And lastly, if it gets to midnight, well, you know, at the end of a horror movie, when you're calling your mum and asking why she let you go to a horror movie birthday party, knowing full well you don't like horror movies. That's sort of the midnight equivalent there.
Uh-huh.
With that in mind, I will just say, I will preface this with some content warnings that I am aware of, but I cannot be comprehensive. This will obviously be tense at the very least. There will be death. Death will be a part of this. There will be a certain amount of corpse description, but it will not be too graphic, because otherwise I will not be happy with myself. There will be an amount of claustrophobia. And finally, this does lightly touch on religion, not in an apostatizing way. There's not going to be anything preachy about it. I just think churches are spooky as fuck.
Nice.
With all of that out of the way, this is some lovely music, isn't it?
It is.
All of the music tonight, by the
Very
way, is brought to you by Tabletop Audio. Tabletop Audio, creators of wonderful tracks. Do find them at www.tabletopaudio.com.
We often use them.
I didn't
They're
realize
fantastic.
that was a real plug. I thought you were
It
joking.
is. No, it is.
It's a real thing.
They're actually very good.
It
very
is
good.
phenomenal, and I recommend it to anyone. If you've been editing your podcast and using music from incompetech.io and thinking, oh, Kevin MacLeod, he stopped dropping the bangers, Tabletop Audio.
That is a deep cut with Kevin MacLeod.
There's a specific group
Yeah.
of people that joke is going to super hit for, and everyone else is like, what?
That's one for the geeks.
Podcasters everywhere are laughing.
Absolutely. Not for much longer.
Kevin, you always live on in our hearts.
Who's kept? No. Oh, this got worse, didn't it?
East Anglia, an ancient and hallowed land, fought over for centuries by Celts, Romans, Saxons, Vikings, Normans, and so many more. A land beset with its own folklore and legends, each one enhanced and twisted by the tongues that tell the stories, these myths of yore. The Black Shuck is one such legend, famous now as a demon black dog that appeared at a midday church service on the 4th of August 1577 in the quiet town of Bungay, Suffolk, along the River Waveney, viciously slaying 2 parishioners before slashing open the huge wooden doors of St Mary's Church, those slashes can still be seen to this day, and bounding off into the wilderness of the Waveney Valley. The city of Norwich, at the time that our story is set, which, by the way, is sometime in the 1800s. But no one's not quite sure when. Probably because of the opium clouds. Norwich is marked by its oppressive Norman castle in the very centre, orbited periodically by one of 51 churches, one for each day of the year, and then you visit the cathedral for Christmas, or so they say, which the churches themselves, are punctuated by 450 public houses, pubs, taverns, inns. One for each day of the year, except for Fridays, when you can visit 2 or 3. Famed for its leisure and markets, it is a bustling metropolis in Victorian era London? No, Norwich. Victorian era Norwich, with the central market being a hub of commerce in the region, and offers buyers, both scrupulous and non, an opportunity to buy and sell anything they want from anyone they please. The legend of the Black Shuck has spread far and wide across East Anglia through Suffolk and Norfolk, gripping lovers of the supernatural with its fearsome fangs across the plains and up the modest hills into our busy little city in a very flat county. Our story today concerns one such group, a group obsessed with the Black Shuck. They call themselves the Shuck Spotters, a collection of semi-amateur supernatural investigators who once specialised in investigating legends of this hellish hound, but have more recently become a bit more of a social club for its 4 extant members. So, I would like first for John to introduce his character. John, your character, please do introduce them to us and give us an example of their standard day-to-day.
Okay. I'm playing Jeremy Carter. Carter, as we'll call him. He is. He comes across as being a slightly stuck-up and dour man. He's about 40 years of age. He tends to favour cloaks and dark colours, and he believes it makes him look serious and intelligent. His complexion is slightly ruddy, so he's slightly out of breath all of the time. But he has dark hair that's swept back and falls in front of his eyes when he gets a little bit more animated about his magic. He has blue eyes that are intense, and they peer from under a hard brow. He's clean-shaven, and he has an angled jawline, and he stands about average height and is somewhat slim. And Carter, his usual day-to-day might consist of being in his townhouse, which is quite a well-to-do affair. Lovely fences and topiary just outside. People wandering by turn their heads and like, he surely has a lot of money. For he does. First shock of the evening.
What a twist!
You never saw that one coming.
Whoa!
So
Shiver, bringing shocks.
Carter can usually be found in his library, among his tomes and vast collection of strange and occult books, fingering through the rustly pages on a regular basis, trying to work out the next great working that he can be part of.
Excellent. Please can you roll me a smarts check?
Oh, it's going to go well. I have 1 success and 1 strange.
We will not be ticking up the strange, the doom clock at this point. As you are leafing through this tome, you happen upon a bit of text that you are all too familiar with. And it is the bit of text that describes the Bungie incident of the Black Shack. And, I mean, the reason you come across it is because it is a common page that you turn to. This sort of white whale of sorts. And you just read it and sort of read through it and remember it, this strange and terrible wonder that was wrought deep late in the parish church of Bungie, a town with no great difference from the city of Norwich, namely the 4th of August, in the year of our Lord, 1577. And you read through it and you can almost hear in your mind the tempestuous nature of the storm that befelled just before the bell fell from the belfry. You ponder on that.
Mm-hmm.
As the camera sort of fades and the fog rolls across the screen, we find ourselves settling on a character that Zack is going to introduce us to.
So the person you see is this tall figure, probably about 6 foot, but looks not in proportion to their height. He looks long limbs, gangly, and as he comes into focus, you see this clean-shaven, boyish face. This is Angus Fletch, and he has a world-weary look for someone so young. Angus is only about 19, but he walks the streets with an experience and a hardened heart that any adult could match. He is wearing tattered clothes. There's, the to be expected dirt on his face, a tattered cap of some kind. And you see as he walks through the busy streets, he quickly and adeptly grabs a loaf of bread from a stall, and he grabs a couple bits of fruit.
Would
like to
you
call for a
please
roll?
do me the pleasure
Yes.
of rolling a wit check?
A wit check. Yes,
That's
I
the
can.
blue key one, I believe.
Blue key. I got 1 success.
Got 1 success. That is enough for a wit check. As your hands deftly reach around, grabbing 2 apples, which are almost like flicked up your sleeves,
Yeah.
as a loaf of bread somehow finds itself in the breast of your tattered jacket.
Exactly. And you see as he quickly darts down an alleyway and in a moment is vanished within the boarded up broken window that he knows just how to pull the board aside and dip into an abandoned building. Where you see there are an assortment of other urchins who he kind of walks past, makes some room for himself, and takes a bite out of one of the apples. And upon seeing one of the other kind of just a touch younger than him, maybe just come into 18, children, kind of not children but adults now, looking hungry, he kind of begrudgingly reaches into his sleeve and tosses them an apple and carries on eating. moving away, attempting not to interact with these other people.
Excellent. Lovely. The screen fades. Fog rolls across. And Chloe, why don't you tell us who it lands on next?
Yes, it would land on a rather dimly lit dressing room, the only light coming from light bulbs around the mirror, in front of which sits a short, slim woman with dirty blonde hair who's applying the finishing touches to her makeup, a little bit of rouge on her cheeks, that kind of thing. She makes sure that every strand of her hair is tightly tied up in a bun, that there's nothing that will escape. It's very, very rigid, and she's putting in clips and things, and spending so much time making sure everything looks perfect. She wears she wears like almost men's black tie, essentially. She has a red sparkly bow tie, however, sort of coat with tails, and once she's satisfied with the way she looks, she sits in front of the mirror for a few extra seconds, doubly checking that everything is fine. And then she turns to the side of her dressing table where there's a large hat box. She opens the hat box and reaches out to pull a red sparkly top hat. It's actually going to be a proper top hat rather than the one I'm wearing, which is tiny. That she then spends another 5 minutes perfecting its position on her head, because as anybody who's ever tried to wear a hat with their hair tied up will know, it's very, very difficult. And yeah, we're kind of seeing her routine, getting ready for her show. There's sort of sounds going on from people coming in. It gets louder and louder until there's quite a bit of a noise from a crowd from the other side of the curtain going on.
Lila, can I please have a heart check?
Absolutely, you may. Oh, that is 0 successes. With 5 dice.
0 successes with 5 dice. That how should it be, folks. Lila, you hear the crowd, and you feel as though you are as good as you're going to be able to get. You open the curtains and step out. What other shapes did you get on your die? Did it tell you?
I got 2 grit, 1 luck, which I could bank actually if I wanted to. 1 wit and 1. What's the yellow one? The thinky one. Smarts. There you go.
Yeah. Do you bank that luck?
And there is also 1 strange, by the way, on the talent
and 1
die.
strange, but we won't be ticking up for this because that would be silly. Lila, as you step out, you sort of go to you find your light. You step forwards, and the crowd just doesn't stop talking. They just keep talking. Lila, can you roll me a fear check, please?
Ooh,
now,
remind me how I do that.
For a fear check, and I'm going to look up the ruling just to make sure that I get it right. A fear check, because every character in Shiver has a fear. It is written down. It is an actual mechanic that will affect things. A fear check is done when you are having to confront the action, or the source of your fear itself. Now, in order to do this, I need you to roll a strange check for me.
Mm-hmm.
If you you just need more. You need a success. We need 1 success on this.
I can't help you there because it's a 0. Okay. There's no strange though.
No, well, I mean, the strange is what you would have wanted on this one, unfortunately, which is a shame. Lila, the crowd does not stop talking, and you find yourself quaking in your meticulously polished shoes, and you are terrified under the limelight as a single tear sort of beads up underneath. The screen fades, fog rolls across. To Dan.
Hello.
Dan, who do we see?
Picture, if you will, the corner of a cobbled street. The street in which many passers-by frequent. And on one such corner, shone in the dimly lit light of a candle-lit street light, next to a rather rickety stool, and placed upon that stool an open briefcase. Hung from that briefcase a small plaque that has been shaped and painted to form the shape of a rather lovely moustache. And Shuttlethorpe wax dons each side. And stood on a box next to this briefcase of wax is quite a slender but quite stocky individual, kind of thin but broad-shouldered, wearing not affluent clothing, but could have been if the person he potentially liberated it from was affluent. But you could see the corners and the seams of which starting to frail as such, and with greased back, slick, long hair with a beautiful waxed moustache stands Desmond Shuttlethorpe, beckoning out on the streets to try and gauge as many passers-by into his wares as possible.
Fantastic. Can you please roll for me a heart check?
I certainly will. That is 1 success and 0 strange.
Excellent. With 1 success, as you are there sort of hawking your wares to whomever would pass by, you do start to draw sort of the attention of some of the gentlemen that walk past. You can tell they're gentlemen because they don't smell quite as shitty as everyone else. And you see one in particular who's got a kind of a sad, little bit droopy moustache, comes over and sort of inspects the wares, keeps his distance, but sort of seems to inspect them. Hello there. You seem to be selling some sort of moustache wax.
Oh, welcome up, absolutely. You, sir, seem like a man that on any given day makes at least half a dozen good decisions. Well, this may be the 6th and final one for you today, because you have arrived at the right place and certainly the right time.
Well, goodness to me, well, that's quite a claim to make. I mean, I do try to make at least half a dozen good decisions every day. You're absolutely right there. This is fine moustache wax, actually. Here, my lad, a shiny penny for you. And here's a halfpenny for your troubles.
Much obliged to you, sir. Remember, only applied once per day.
Very well, yes. I don't want to have too much wax in the system.
Absolutely not, sir. You'll stick to your pillow this eve.
Can you roll me a luck check, please?
Of course. Oh, that is 3 successes.
3 successes. That is very, very successful indeed. I am now just looking up to see what the rules are for critical successes, because my brain...
That's a full house, isn't it?
I think it has to be a full house, yes, but I am just double checking that, because I think that is an important thing to know as a GM, whether people's amount of success is good.
Critical hit, but not like critical success.
Well, we shall move on then. As you stand there hawking your wares, he hands you what he believes to be a penny. You look down and you realise he has handed you a 10 pence. On closer inspection, this gentleman, the glasses that he has are very scratched. He's sort of got them like right on the end of his nose, and they're very scratched, almost like cloudy, as though he doesn't know how to take care of glasses. And by the jangle of the purse, he probably shan't be missing this 10 penny. But you feel lucky. Do you feel lucky, kid? You absolutely do. Now, I just want to double check one more thing, because my brain is I do apologize, viewers. My brain at the moment is doing this wonderful thing where I look something up and then immediately forget the thing that I've just looked up, which I know makes for riveting, delightful content.
Everyone
There we
should
go,
just look
that's the page I wanted.
spooky and set the tone. Ooh. Spooky. Ooh.
That is how your characters are on a normal day. And there's no reason why today should be any other kind of day. It is a special day, for it is market day. In the centre of Norwich is an enormous, bustling market, as previously mentioned, where you can buy and sell anything you like. And the four of you, having recently adjourned your most recent meeting of the Shuck Spotters, find yourselves in the marketplace. It is the middle of the day. The perfect time to stumble out of your meeting place. And at the market you can, you can find anything. You smell like fresh baked bread sort of wafting around, which is undercut by the smell of horse manure and fish. You hear
Surely that's just like a smell that we blank out at this stage. It's so ever present in our lives.
I mean, I think you step out, the bread for a second like takes you away, and then just the stank.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, over. And it's like, oh yeah, here we are. You are free, if you would like, to look around the market as you please. However, I would like to draw your attention to the sky. I say it's the middle of the day. And it was a relatively nice day. However, above, the clouds are darkening. There is no weather forecast. You can't look it up on a weather app or anything. But this once nice day has now starting to gloom over a little bit. Over the market. People don't seem that fazed by it. Perfectly nonplussed, in fact. And yeah, there's people selling fruit and vegetables. One person's going, strawberries, strawberries, 2 for a tuppence, 3 for a threepence, strawberries, get 'em while they're strawberries. They hadn't invented patter yet. It's a real shame. Yeah. Patter didn't exist until 1999. Oh. Before then, everyone just said exactly what they wanted.
The good old days.
The good old days.
Would I be able to kind of roll some kind of smarts check to see if I can, like, I don't know. I think Angus is quite skittish, and so is wondering, not really concerned about the wares and the food and all those different things. He can pilfer what he needs, but he's concerned about that ominous sky. Is there something there that he needs to...
Do roll me a smarts check.
Okay. I am actually quite good at smarts. I have 4 dice, so...
Ooh.
I get 1 smarts, and I get 1 weird as well.
1 smarts, 1 weird, and what were your other 2?
Heart and wit.
Heart and wit. Very well. That is a fail.
Okay.
The doom clock ticks up by 1. Today's doom clock brought to you by capitalism.
Thought you were going to say Casio then, and I was going to lose my mind.
Brought to you by Casio. A song by George Ezra.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah. You look around, and this weather is not usual. It's hard to say exactly what. It is around the time of year that we are in now, by which I mean late October.
Spooky season.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And like wild weather is not unusual for this time of year, but there is something about this that is just, it's making you feel wiggity. Wiggity and weird.
Wiggy waggy woo.
What I will also say is that you do notice like a rat running. There's a rat just running. Like there's loads of rats around, but this rat in particular, you're like, what's he up to?
Can I follow the rat?
You can try and follow the rat. Roll me a wit check though, to follow that rat.
Okay, wit to follow a rat.
Do you have any abilities that help you with navigating? Or
Oh, I do. Thank you for reminding me. I get to add a talent dice when navigating. That is 1 success on the talent die. There was a weird in that, and there was a grit and a heart.
Well, that is a success because this rat is surprisingly easy to follow.
Oh, good.
Because it scurries, 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 and then drops dead.
Okay, when you say drops dead, what does that look like?
So imagine, if you will, a rat running. You know how they kind of do that?
Hmm.
And as it's running, you sort of follow it with your eyes and then start, like, going after it. And it turns a corner. You follow it around the corner. And then it's like... it's almost like... It's very difficult to describe. It's as though it just ceased to be.
As in it physically vanished, or it just, like...
No, as in
like
its soul left its body in an
Jesus
instant.
Christ. I think I'm gonna... Do I see the others in the market?
You're all sort of near each other.
I think
I'm probably in the process of turning a strawberry into a playing card to prove that they're not always strawberries.
I think I just want to go over to... maybe to Desmond.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Desmond has a, like, working class... like, relationship, maybe, with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
Working class solidarity, I get it.
Yeah. And I think I'll just kind of sidle up to him and just go, oi, rats dying in the streets.
Well, it's not the only thing that's strange. See in the sky?
Yeah.
French rat it again. And he just goes, where's that rat? And he just kind of like starts saddling off to like following you to where this dead rat is.
Yeah, I'll kind of navigate and show you
So
where
did you
the
say
rat
the French
was.
are at it again?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Right.
If Lila was in this conversation, she...
I just wanted to check that I heard that properly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, it's not right.
Well, Angus, things die all the time.
No, not that.
It's best not pay it much mind.
Right.
Talking about rats again, are we?
Oh. Christ, Jeremy, you always frighten me.
Sorry. To apologise.
It's all right, Carter. Angus is just a little bit worried about the lifespan of small creatures.
I'm sorry, but when do rats up and die in the fucking streets?
Quite often, I would imagine.
No, they go into houses and shit and die in their little cupboards. They don't drop dead in the middle of the road.
I've never heard of a rat having a chaise lounge or a cupboard or something. They've got lots of furniture.
I thought you were from the upper side of town. Most of them probably do.
We don't have rats over there.
Angus, are you playing with rats again?
You know, I don't know why I hang out with you lot. It's quite fucking rude, actually.
Well, tell you what, Angus, you pick that rat up there. I'll take it with us. We'll give it a proper burial later.
I feel like you're not taking me very seriously right now, everyone.
It's okay. We'll just get you a nice square meal. The rats, who cares?
Fine.
I can get you a new rat, if you like. I'll pull it out of my hat.
Good
It wasn't
idea.
my rat. I didn't own the rat.
Lila, roll me
Yes.
a wit check, please.
That I can do. That's 1 success. 0
Excellent.
strange.
You reach into your hat, and you find the rat inside your hat.
Now that's a
dead.
good trick.
The rat that you keep in your hat?
The rat inside your hat is dead.
So, like, I have a live rat that I would pull out of a hat and it is now dead, essentially. Is that what you
Correct,
mean?
yes.
Okay.
Are you not feeding it or what?
Drops to her knees.
She pulls it out by the tail.
In an instant, you feel your blossoming career as a chef fade away. That's a ratatouille joke.
Is like swinging it slightly by the tail. It's like, oh, that doesn't usually happen. I'm very sorry, Angus. Stuffs it back in the hat.
a new rat? Oh.
Desmond just starts like slowly applauding. Going, hey, it was brilliant.
Oh, thank you, Desmond. It's every evening at 7:30.
What, you
Carter,
pull out a dead
Can
rat?
you roll me a strange check, please?
Yes, I can. That is 1 success and 1 strange.
Well, it would be because it's a strange check.
I have 2 successes then?
No, I think.
Oh, yeah, it just comes
No,
up with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
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 That's fine.
It's fun. Hey, Carter, you feel a strangeness in the air. And it is like a wave. By which I mean you're paddling, almost.
Yep.
And at first it feels like there's something happening at shin level. And then suddenly it almost just like tries to knock you over. You are able to withstand that. You're not physically knocked over, but you do stagger a little bit. You lean out to the side. And I would like for anyone who feels as though their character would notice things to roll a smart check, please. There will be no negative impacts to this. This is just to see who notices.
1 success.
1 success.
I did not roll.
With a luck and a weird.
That tracks.
Do bank that luck, but we won't add that weird. So, Lila and Angus, as you're having this rat conversation, you see your friend Carter just stagger. His eyes briefly flash for a moment. And it's hard to tell if it's just a trick of the light. And you all hear tiny, thunderous footsteps. As the sewer grates explode with rats.
Whoa.
Okay.
Rats burst out of the sewers. In this little side road that you find yourselves, the rats begin to swarm. Their mouths are foaming, their eyes are red. Beyond red, they are red and almost glowing at first, and then you notice that these rats appear to have no eyeballs, and the glow of red is blood. As the cobbled streets begin to get painted in a Jackson Pollock-esque maelstrom of red streaking across and squeaking across. Combat in Shiver works in an interesting way.
All right.
We're not even warming up, are we? We're straight
Here we
in.
go.
Love this.
Combat in Shiver works in an interesting way. You don't roll initiative. You are assigned an order in the combat. And what that means is basically how prepared you are when this combat happens. So Lila and Angus, you are going to be in combat order 1.
Okay.
Desmond, you are going to be in combat order 2. And Carter, you are going to be in combat order 3. The rat swarm is going to be in combat order 2. What that means is that those grouped in 1 will go first. You can take your turns at any time within that order.
Okay.
And then it'll be group 2, and then finally it'll be group 3. These orders can change with each round of combat based on what you've done. It is one of the more complicated aspects of the Shiver system. As these rats run around your feet, they do start to move towards you, and they do look threatening as well. That is very, very clear indeed. So I will ask from our opening group, Lila and I keep forgetting your characters' names. Zack. I'm so
Angus, like
sorry.
the
Angus.
beef,
Angus loves the beef. Of course. Where's the beef?
right here.
Lila and Angus, what would you like to do? In combat in Shiver, you can take an action, an interaction, and move. All three of those.
What are our direct physical surroundings? Like, are we?
So you're in a street. There are some like, no, not shop fronts, but probably like houses. There are sewer grates that sort of line the street, and the rats are just pouring out of them. They are scurrying around. They are frenetic.
Is there something I can climb?
That was my thinking exactly.
Roll me a luck check.
Okay, I get a talent dice for this.
Excellent.
That is 1 success and 1 luck.
1 success is all you needed.
Amazing.
There is something you can climb on. It is an old style like phone box.
Excellent.
You know the Doctor Who telephone box? It's that kind of vibe. I don't know how accurate that is to Victorian things, but it's there.
Who cares?
It's
the doctor's nearby.
But it's not a police telephone box. It's just like a telephone box.
Ooh.
Fantasy.
I think if it's okay with you, Chloe, Angus is just gonna grab Lila's hand and start to drag her up this box.
Yeah, I mean, my immediate instinct was to jump on something, so yeah.
Yeah. How do that?
I'm going to need you to do a grit check for me to clamber up and to swing Lila up with you.
I'm gonna spend
Lila, you may.
Sorry.
I was going to say, can I do anything to help?
You may help. Yes. You can also roll a grit check.
Excellent.
It might not help. I'm not great at that.
Or wit, if you prefer.
I mean, I already rolled.
Okay, that's fine. What did you
May
get?
I roll wit?
No, yours definitely needs to be grit.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna spend that luck I just banked and add an additional dice.
Excellent.
I rolled and I got 0 successes.
I also rolled and got 0 successes.
Oh no.
So you grab Lila, and Lila, like, you try to help. But in trying to help, you get in Angus's way. And you just, like, start trying to push into each other. Angus, I'm going to say that's all your stuff that you can do. Lila, you may still take an action of some kind if you wish. You can try and hit shit if you want.
Yes, seeing that climbing on top of the phone box is just not working, I'm then going to rip my hand out of Angus's and try and start like pulling a really long length of cloth out of my sleeve that I will then like use as kind of like a whip to try and like clear a space around us to be like, get away from us.
You're trying to frighten them away. I like that.
Yeah.
Roll me a heart check, please.
That is 1 success.
1 success is enough. These rats, like where you like throw your handkerchief rope, sorry, that's just a very funny concept. They scurry back, and I'm gonna have them roll a heart check as well because that feels appropriate. Yeah. So quite a few of the rats actually scurry away. You seem to have quite a fearsome presence. Those of you looking at Lila think, why is she just doing magic? She should be like a ringmaster. Very, very powerful. I like that very much indeed. All right. Position 2, we have Desmond. Desmond, what do you want to do?
Seeing as how we're in a marketplace and thinking about how these market stalls would be made up, I assume that the roof, if there is a bit of a roof, is going to be kind of like a cloth tarp, as such, like a cloth awning.
Yeah, some are cloth awnings, some are wooden awnings. You feel like some of these market stalls are a bit more permanent.
Okay, so here I'm going to tell you what I want to do, and you can tell me how much of it I can get done in one turn.
Okay.
I want to rip the awning off and the side of the market, and I want to wrap it up. As I'm going to make like a torch.
Yeah, roll me a wit check, please. Because that's like making stuff.
Okay, that is... Oh, that's good. That's 2 successes.
2 successes is
I have
exactly what you need.
2 keys and 1 light bulb brain.
Oh, well, that's what it is. Big brain thinking.
Yeah.
You tear it apart, you wrap it quickly around a stick, and you have a very serviceable torch. And actually, you notice, like, next to the shop, whose awning you've just stolen, by the way, they are a fruit and veg seller, there is someone who's just, like, grilling nuts. He's like a nut roaster.
How
and
convenient.
if you want that to be a flaming torch, I will allow that to be a flaming torch.
It is exactly what I was going for. Thank you.
You hold it out. It goes... You have a flaming torch. Congratulations. You have a weapon. Your weapon, because weapons are a thing in Shiver. Your weapon will give you a damage of 2. It does fire damage. And in addition, you may do a heart check to try and frighten things.
Okay.
So it'll be wit to use it to hit things, or heart to try and fear things.
Okay.
And it reduces the challenge of that because it is a thing that you have made. But it's not very strong. Like, it's not very... I keep wanting to say brave, and brave is not the right answer. Well constructed, shoddily constructed. It is fragile.
Okay.
So that is, I would say that's your interaction.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah, so I'm going to be waving this like a lunatic, like, you know, right in front. I'm going to try and deter these rats from coming anywhere close as I use my movement to back up towards the telephone box that isn't a telephone box.
Excellent. You do so. Roll me a heart check, in which case.
And that is 2 successes. I have 2 hearts and a fist.
2 hearts and a fist. Well, absolutely. You're just wading in there with your flames. Lila has already cleared quite a few of the rats with this sort of cracking sound, and the rest of them seem to disperse away from you. The swarm itself is not gone. They are still ratting about. But the 3 of you are currently clear from rats. However, unfortunately, I need for Carter to please roll me a grit check.
Just leave Carter on his own.
Uno successo.
That's uno successo for the rats, which means something that I should probably know. Do apologize.
Spooky vibes.
Spooky vibes.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Copyright.
It's less than 20 seconds. It's fine.
It's going to. I'm gonna apply a thing from a different system. It's just going to reduce the damage that they do. No, it isn't actually. I found the rule that I wanted. Great.
Hey.
So these rats try and charge at you, Carter. I feel like you've got a walking stick or a staff or something.
Of course he does.
Yeah, and you are just playing croquet with these rats. You're just punting them away. Doing. And you are
Yes.
unscathed by these bloodied rats. It is now time for Carter. It's Carter time.
It's Carter time. Carter will quite nonchalantly make his way over to the not telephone box TARDIS, batting these rats as he goes with his delightful cane, attempting to then kind of clamber up and just essentially raise himself off of the ground.
Excellent. Yes, roll me a grit check, please.
That's a fail and a luck.
Well, bank the luck, but a fail
You're gonna need
is a fail. Yeah, you see, you just start trying to swing through. You did quite well at fending them off, but they've gotten wise to your tricks and are starting to come from behind.
I don't know how to do golf from behind.
Can't do reverse golf. What am I, from Suffolk? That's a really great, funny joke for people, like for Norfolk and Suffolk.
Yeah.
You know when you say a joke and you're like, okay, there's so many other things I can say to this to qualify it, and none of them are appropriate.
This is R-rated. It's fine.
Yeah.
Still.
I know. Anyway, you are able to make it over to the not a TARDIS. You observe your environment, and the rats are still scurrying around. You are all together. You are all supporting each other. You are all now in position 1. It is all of your turns. What would you like to do?
Any clear idea, chaps?
Desmond will probably turn and be like,
Just like whipping the rats.
The fire seems to be working. More fire?
Okay.
This glass, pointing at the phone box, which I assume has glass in it.
Yes,
Can we light the phone box on fire?
it is a wooden phone box, wooden and glass.
We might.
Oh, fantastic.
We might also burn. I appreciate the
I don't know what you're
decisions
talking
there,
about.
Angus, but
Can't see the problem.
I mean, I hear there's a new thing all the rage: barbecue.
Time for some barbecued rats. Come on then.
I'm going
Okay.
to start trying to elbow some of the glass out of the phone box to get us some weapons.
Roll me a grit check. Dear God, roll me a grit check that's successful.
Nope.
Oh,
I do have a luck point. What do I have? What do I kind of?
It adds an extra die.
Adds an extra die. Can I use that now, or do I have to do it before I roll?
Yeah, go on. I'll let you use it.
Okay.
I don't
How
care.
do I-
So it's
how do I
it's
add
a
an
2-shot.
extra die? How do I do that?
By clicking a button.
I think you.
What button?
I think
Helpful.
you click the minus when you've banked that luck, and it puts it as a die,
Oh, I see.
and then you
Oh,
roll.
And then you click. to roll
Okay,
again.
I'll take the first die then. Oh, it was a grit. There we go. 1 success.
Well, there you go. You sort of-
Hey!
you knock it. You knock it. You can't quite break through, and then you just hear that satisfying, and shards of glass fall inside the telephone box.
Congratulations,
Oh,
Lara.
Well, we've got weapons now, but they're inside, so we're going to have to go and get them.
Quick, break your way inside.
Can I reach in? I've got quite long limbs. I'm quite tall. Could I reach in and unlock it, or could I reach a weapon
not
and pull
locked.
it out?
It's not locked. It's a public phone box. It's not
Desmond
locked.
just like open the door and walk in and shut the door. Well,
Yes,
is
you
it
may.
like, does it like, am I now in an enclosed space while like just kind of going, well,
No, so what's happened is Lila's broken the glass. They're freaking out about opening it. You open it, step in, and now you're stood on broken glass.
Desmond, can you hand us some of the glass?
I will start to do that.
Angus,
You
set
have
it on
glass
fire.
shards.
We now have functional knives.
That also cut your own hands.
Yeah.
Fine. Nothing can go wrong.
I imagine at this point Desmond is lighting his second hand-rolled cigarette off the fire from his flaming torch, just stood inside this phone box going, well, any bright ideas?
Light the box on fire.
I mean, we
Desmond
could.
is currently inside the box.
We could
literally
just-
like, way ahead of you, mate.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but do rats have the ability to open phone boxes? Perhaps we should go inside.
There's not enough room for all of us, you imbecile.
Well,
no.
you'll all be dearly missed.
Are we lighting the box on fire? Is that what's happening?
No, if Desmond inside it.
He's the one with the fire.
Desmond's gonna light it.
He's the one with the fire as well. Yes.
That's true. You did just step inside the phone box with a lit torch.
Yeah.
The carbon monoxide is surely.
Yeah.
No, there's a hole.
The fact that any of you think Desmond would think about that before stepping in with a flaming... He's probably in there going, oh, okay.
The fact that he would have even heard of carbon monoxide is like,
Carbon monoxide actually hasn't been invented.
Yeah.
yeah.
They invented
92.
it. No, they invented it in the year 2000 to distract people from Y2K.
Ah,
Makes
yes.
sense.
This
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. Yep.
Yeah.
And then created gluten to do the same about carbon monoxide.
This podcast brought to you by Big Cake.
Big cake.
Is
You
there a
heard it
cake
here
shop popped
first,
up near you?
folks.
Big cake.
Big cake.
Please, someone say they want to do something.
So
We're not
can I-
losing daylight, but you know.
looking outside through the dim fog of the carbon monoxide within the phone box, do I see other people that were in the market running for their lives, or is there no one else there now?
Such a great question. Roll me a smart check.
I'm not.
Do so
was
at
wondering
disadvantage
this.
because you are inside a smoky box.
How do
Minor
I do disadvantage?
So that's a great question, isn't it? Isn't that such a great question?
Don't you just
Um,
remove
Minor
one
or
of the-
major?
Yeah. So that is minor disadvantage. Which
Are you sure?
I mean, you guys have got the cheat sheet in front of you. I don't know why I'm
Remove
hurriedly
one
looking it
skill
up.
die for minor disadvantage.
Minor disadvantage. Remove one skill die. Thank you, Chloe.
Excellent. So that's 0 successes, 0 strange. I got a heart, a luck, and a grit. So I will bank the luck. And can I do that?
Yep, you can bank a luck. You can
Leaving
bank
me.
up to 3 luck, being the archetype that you are.
Yep. So I'll take the luck and minus what either of the other two. It still means I'm a
You-
success, doesn't it?
It's still you still fail.
Yeah,
with the
fine.
smarts check that we were looking for.
Yeah, fine. So I'll bank the luck.
It's gotten really foggy recently. The fog has just rolled in. It's crazy, man.
Goddamn France.
God damn.
Fog machines.
Can I obviously I've seen where the rats are coming from. Can I see where they're going to?
Ooh, great question. I will give you this information for free.
Okay.
They are coming out of the sewer grates and they are just filling the streets.
They're not running to a direction. They're just trying to
Scurrying around.
occupy a different space.
They are roll me a. No, you don't need to do this either. I will tell you that they are running around in blind panic, quite literally.
Quite literally a blind panic. Okay. We're in a food market.
You are.
I would like to gather up as much food as I can and start tossing it in like one big pile.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Roll me a wit check, please.
Okay, wish me luck, folks.
Good luck. Sorry, nobody did it. I felt obliged. Good luck.
Well, you
bad
all
luck.
failed me because I did not get a success. I did, however, bank a luck, so
Got a luck.
Hey.
Fantastic.
there was no weird in there either.
You try and get over to a stall selling food, but there's just too much
I can't.
panic. Like the people there are now starting to run and scream as well.
So,
It's
I would
difficult to get there through the
Yeah.
throng.
I would say
Ah.
that Carter does actually see Angus do this and starts just tipping over the the tables that probably have wares on them.
Yeah.
Excellent. Grit check, please. Check that grit.
That grit is shit. Nothing.
You start pushing up against a table. What other did you roll?
Oh, I got a strange in there. I got a luck and also a wit.
A luck and a wit and a strange, you say? Yes. The June clock ticks up one.
Oh no.
T-top.
You start pushing up against it, and then someone like this big burly fishmonger looks down and says, "Oh, I like what he's doing. Let's do that." And starts just like this big burly buff guy just starts like fucking knocking tables over, like he's in WrestleMania or some equivalent something.
Good man, suplex that fish.
I want that on a t-shirt now.
Suplex that fish.
The UK store for the Suplex That Fish t-shirt.
Actual play UK on Redbubble. Suplex that fish. Lila, would you like to take any actions?
Yes. So I've used like interact to get the
Yes,
glass
you
up
interacted
thing.
for the glass. Yes.
Can I also have an attack with the glass on some of the nearby rats?
Yeah, go on. It's going to be a wit attack.
Okay.
With this, you'll be able to do some extra damage with it.
That is totally fine. 1 success.
1 success is all you need. Are you going to throw it, or are you going to try and stab the rats?
I'm trying
This is
to
an
do
important
like
question.
big slices to get as many as possible in one go. I think because
Okay.
Lila's kind of slightly panicking a bit and is just trying to get more away from her.
Guillotine.
Yeah. So you're like,
Yes,
you
because
squat down
Lila
and
pretends that she's French, and therefore guillotine it is.
you do take out a few of these rats. And as you do so, you all then feel this wave move through, and all of the rats drop dead. In an instant, they all there is a flurry of noise and squeaking and blood and screaming, and Lila is lashing out with bits of glass. And then the rats, all of them just drop dead.
Good Lord, Lila, that was an amazing job there.
And then there is a single ear-piercing scream in the middle of the market as a thunder rumbles through and lightning strikes the top of the nearest church tower. The lightning strike crackles down the church tower, and you hear a sound that none of you have heard. It is the sound of a church bell falling from the belfry from which it was hung. The ear-piercing scream seems to have come from the center of this marketplace.
I want to run towards the scream.
I just drop the glass and be like, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything. Oh.
You run towards the source of this scream. As you run, there are too many rats to avoid. These corpses of rats that you just have to step on in order to get through. You run through the market, and while there is pandemonium, there are lots of stalls that have been knocked over. There are people who have got like little bites that they're sort of treating as best they can, by which I mean they're looking at it and rubbing it a bit. You get to the very center of this market, and you see the body of a person. And notably, their ribcage has been torn open.
By rats?
And inside that ribcage is nothing. There are no organs within this ribcage.
Are the bones still there, or are there no bones either?
Roll me a smarts check.
Can I do that as well?
You may, yeah.
So that's 0 successes, but I did roll 2 luck, which means I can make that a 1 success. Yes,
I believe so, yes.
I believe. There's also 1 strange, however.
You only needed 1 success, so that's fine. Angus, you wanted to do one as well?
I failed, but I did add a strange.
What a strange. Oh, clock ticks forwards. Probably too many then. Let me just... Nope, no, there we go. Angus, you are freaking out. And I will tell you why you are freaking out in a second. Lila, the ribs are there. They have been almost torn up. Like this rib cage, you look, has like had something reach under and just pull. Almost like how a insect breaks out of a chrysalis. Notably, spleen is missing, as are the lungs and the heart.
Right. I'll relay information to the others as well.
Angus, I need you to roll me a fear check.
Okay, remind me how I do that?
You just roll strange.
Okay. That is no successes, notably with 2 heart.
Yeah. You recognize this body, Angus. Please mark your fear status to afraid.
Okay.
And what that means mechanically is that you will have a penalty on all rolls until your fear is allayed. You recognize this person. Their name is John Harper, and they are one of the many urchins that you have spent time with. It is a gruesome scene. As you all behold this body, you look up and hear the sounds of panting, slathering. There's a grunting howl that echoes from somewhere within the marketplace. And ahead of you, down almost an aisle created between these different stalls, you see a figure run, a bipedal figure. A human, maybe in a cloak, seems to be running in the direction of the church that was struck by lightning. And I think that might be a good place for us to take a break.
Ooh.
Oh.
Desmond's still in the phone box.
Desmond's just there, smoking, having a great time.
It's filled with smoke. He's got no idea.
We are going to be back in about
Couple of minutes.
15-ish.
Oh, no, it'll be less than
10,
that.
15 minutes. Less than that. I know. We'll be back in an indeterminate period of time. But do keep your ears out, because we'll be back for the second half of this fine, fun, happy, fun, great fun adventure.
Good times.
Fun.
Yay!
Fun.
Yeah!
Hello. And welcome back to part 2 of this Shiver special on Actual Play UK. Hope you had a great time. Hope you had a good break. We certainly did. Oh, the jokes, the japes, so much shenanigans. Oh, guys, the shenanigans were top notch.
You really missed out, actually.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Mm.
I think part 2 we should just film the break too. Just include it.
Okay.
Be real tonal whiplash.
I hope
from
you
the
like-
horror.
Bonus content.
I hope you like what people are sitting in front of, because there's a lot of that. The first half, we met our heroes, the Shuck Spotters. I say heroes, as they found themselves in the market of Norwich. A series of things happened, after which a load of rats burst out of the sewers. These rats had no eyes. Specifically, the eyes seemed to have, well, I'll tell you now, been disappeared, either magically or maybe explosively. It's hard to say. These rats, after what I will say is, after being bested by our heroes, you guys did win that combat. All seemed to drop dead all at once, much like one that Angus Fletch had seen happen previously. There was a piercing scream, and you ran to investigate that and found I think eviscerated is the right word. No, the disemboweled is the word that I'm going to go with. The disemboweled corpse of one John Harper, a friend, or certainly an acquaintance of Angus. You also saw that a church nearby was struck by lightning. One of the last things that I described to you was you saw a figure running out of the market in the direction of the church. People are starting to gather around the corpse.
I'd like to run after the figure, to be perfectly honest with you.
before I start running, can I check around the body to see if there's like a trail of blood in any general direction?
Yes. Roll me a smart check. You may do so at minor advantage, I believe, because you... No, not you. I got the characters confused.
It's
Roll me a
definitely not
smarts
me.
check, please.
That's a success.
Who?
One success.
One success.
With 2 keys, which are wits.
That is wit. I'll be honest, it is not a tricky trail to follow because there is a large puddle of blood that seems to not go in the direction of the body of the figure that you saw. It seems to go almost perpendicularly left. If you're stood at the feet of this corpse, it went to your left, straight down there. You follow this blood trail, and it seems to almost zigzag around the market, not leading to any one place in particular. And then, Lila, as you sort of chase after this figure that you saw running from the scene of a crime,
Citizen's arrest, all that.
citizen's arrest and all that. Des, you notice that this... No. Des, roll me a strange check.
Okay. 0 successes, 0 strange.
Well,
But I do have a luck, so I'm going to bank that.
do you bank that luck? Bank that luck. Yeah, it's just weird. The way this blood has been sort of tracked through is very strange indeed.
Spooky.
None of you seem to have located the source of the scream. Because a body with that few organs will not scream.
That's a good point.
Lack of lungs.
I've got no lung. Sorry, Governor, I couldn't scream and got no lungs.
I think if
Solved it.
I think if anyone's looking at Angus is like just pale white and like 1,000-yard stare looking at a corpse, like not moving, not doing anything.
Absolutely. Angus, this is... For you, this is terrifying. Your fear is losing someone, and you have lost someone. Not only have you lost someone, but you have seen the gruesome manner in which you have lost them. And it could happen to anyone. John was unassuming. Unremarkable.
Imagine he's the person I chucked the apple to this morning.
That apple is still in his hand.
I think without consulting anyone, without even looking at you, just walks towards the church. Just like, and it's not a I want to chase the baddie. It's a I want to not be here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
my clearest direction.
Fantastic. You do so. Des, you're following the blood trail. Lila, can you please roll me a wit check?
That's 1 success and 1 strange.
Just needed 1 success. Because this is just for your speed and maneuverability as people are starting to flock now towards where this scream came from. Angus, you sort of almost melt through this crowd.
Yeah.
But Lila, you are sprinting and trying to keep your eye on this person. Des, you're able to follow these blood patterns, which do seem to lead up to the church as well. Carter, what do?
Carter sits down, has a smoke now.
And that's Carter, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Roll credits.
Which stat is that to roll credits?
Okay, so Carter he'll see Angus go through this, see him kind of walk off, and is transfixed by the body. He stays there for a moment and looks at where Desmond has gone and tries to figure out what the actual hell has happened here. Like, is there some kind of occult goings on here because obviously
Yeah.
he's had some experience in things like this, not quite to this degree. But
Hey, Carter, roll me a strange check.
Carter can do that.
Absolutely.
No, he can't. Good lord! Right. Well, that's a nil point.
What did you get? What?
He got everything else.
One of everything. And
yeah.
what does your talent die have on it?
The talent die is one talent that's come up rather than.
You got one talent, so that's one success.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It doesn't come up with a success there.
Oh, that's strange. I think when you roll a talent die, it should give you.
It should either be.
It'll
weird
be
or
because
talent.
it's a strange check, so
Of
the
course.
talent die
Oh,
doesn't
it's
count
got
when it lands
strange
on strange.
Of course. Silly old me.
Yeah.
Well, disregard.
Otherwise, I'd always succeed.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
That's interesting, isn't it?
That
I
is
played the
fun.
weird the last time I played this, and we had the exact same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Last time I played the weird, they just rolled better, and it wasn't an issue.
Thanks.
Sounds like a
All
skill
right,
issue.
See, I've got like,
This
one heart, one
definitely
wit,
does-
one smart.
What I will say, Carter, is you have read like the sort of the literal pulp fiction that has been produced, the so-called penny dreadfuls that are produced on low cost, low quality pulp paper, hence pulp fiction. And this feels like someone either emulating something from this, like this is graphic and horrible. This is not someone who has just been killed for the sake of killing someone. This is something other.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps somebody trying to make a statement in some way, or kind of graphic for the nature of.
If it is without purpose, it is gratuitous.
Yeah.
That is sort of that is the only conclusion that you can reach. This is either purposeful or just completely mad, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
You know where Lila has gone. You sort of vaguely know where Angus has gone, and you know that Des is like a hound, following the blood trail around. And you sort of see him just like pass through like the different like nooks and crannies of the market every now and again.
He's probably smelling some opium. Okay. Anyway, Lila. So he wanders over
As she's
to Lila.
sprinting after a figure.
Angus, as you leave the market, you see Lila sprinting after this figure. You hear Carter sort of calling after Lila. You don't see Des anywhere. Are you going to continue walking towards the church in a sort of slow, not slow pace, but a regular, almost, well, zombie-like state? This, this almost dissociative state getting towards.
I think Angus is if he feels like there is an urgency being put on the situation, he might start to move, but I think it would take a lot for that to register with him right now. I think he's just thinking, keep moving, move away from that specifically. Like, that's the only way that Angus survives, is just you keep moving or you fucking die.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so he keeps moving.
So you just keep moving.
Yeah.
Which means, Lila, you'll be the first at the church. You sort of see this cloaked humanoid figure. The panting sound you heard in the market isn't there anymore. It's almost as though the second you leave the market, all of you, this panting, slathering sound seems to almost vanish into the market itself. You see the church that you know as St. Giles at the top of a gentle slope that would be generously called a hill. And you run, and Lila, it's hard. You are sprinting up a hill, and it is cobbled, and you are in dress shoes.
Yes.
And this figure is... They are running like they are running from something. That much is clear. they turn into the churchyard. These huge metal gates with spikes on top. So we just push them open. And they are going to roll a check for me. And that is... Okay, Lila, can you please roll me a smarts check?
That I can. 0 successes, but I did again roll the 2 luck, so 1 success then.
Excellent. You know that they've gone into that churchyard. You do not know specifically where they've gone. It is hard to track them. As you are running, Lila, and as the rest of you are sort of heading in that direction, you begin to hear the sound of a whistle being blown. A whistle that you all recognise as a police whistle.
Ah.
In the market, you see sort of Victorian-era police officers starting to sort of converge on it, some of them running quite frantically. Some of them look as though they've been fighting rats. As you are running across across this city centre, you find that there are rats everywhere. Everywhere. Lila, you get to the church. They are all dead. Lila, you get to the edge of this church. You see everyone else coming at their various paces. Desmond, how frenetically are you following this? And like, once it sort of leaves the realms of the market, the blood starts to not be as...
Well, if it isn't, I'm kind of doing, like, looking at the blood, but also keeping an ear out for that panting and snarling sound. And if it's kind of, if I feel like I'm gaining on that, then I will kind of...
You notice as you're going around that this panting and snarling sound just seems to reduce.
Right.
It's not actually as you leave the market that it goes away as much as it is fading and you are leaving the market.
Okay.
It occurs to you to hang back, and it does just like almost fade out.
Does it give me the impression that whatever is making that is getting further away from where we are? Or is it just that the general sound is just...
Difficult to say.
Difficult, okay. And I will see my compatriots and follow on across the street towards the church.
Lovely stuff. Lila, when you get to the gates, what do you do?
I'm gonna continue into the churchyard and just maybe slow down a little bit, obviously, because this is gonna be a bit trickier to run. But just do my best to try and keep that figure in eye line at all times. I'm not particularly hiding. I would be very difficult to hide.
you get into the church and you can't see them. You don't know where they've gone.
Ah, shucks. Pun not intended.
It's a good pun.
Maybe a little bit.
As you stand there, dumbfounded, trying to find any trace of where this figure has run, the rest of you arrive at the gates of this church. The church tower crumbled from the bell having been struck by lightning and then cascading down. There's rubble sort of everywhere.
As the others arrive, I'll sort of turn to them and be like, they disappeared. They came in here and they just disappeared. I wish I knew how they did it. Most
They
impressive.
can't just disappear. They got to be somewhere.
Have you checked your ass?
Yes.
In the rat hat.
Neither are you fucking funny.
Angus, are you all right?
Fine.
Can I have a heart check from Desmond, please?
That's 0 successes, but I do have 1 strange. Can I roll the 2 luck die on that that I've saved?
Yeah, go on.
If so, how do I do that on this thing?
So what I'm just going to say is you can use 2 luck die as a single success. I don't know if that's the rule. But if you roll 2 luck die, you can use it as a single success. So I'll say if you've got 2 luck dice stored up, you can use it for that as well.
Okay. Then I will use 1 then. Yeah, 1 success, 1 strange.
Angus, as Des comes up to you and sort of asks if you're right, it feels genuine. It's not like, Pub, are you all right? This is someone who has recognized that you are in distress and is almost reaching out to help. you are now stable
I think
because you have to just keep going.
I think there's a moment as you say that and you do reach out to Angus that he just kind of like, no, I'm fine. Let's crack on.
I just kind of like place one hand on his shoulder and just squeeze lightly and just a knowing we'll talk later kind of thing as we head off into the churchyard.
Gentle scent of opium wafts from Desmond.
Oh, from Desmond. I was going to go, from where? I follow that. Wherever that is.
Instantly feel more relaxed.
Yeah.
Have one of my special cigarettes.
You are in this churchyard and stood sort of staggering out of the church itself, like how churches have doors. So staggering out of it, you see a priest type figure, reverend, sort of coughing, covered in just like dust.
I'll
Or
run
possibly
over
really
and try
bad
and
dandruff.
I'll run over and try and help him move out into the yard and sort of brush him down a bit, check he's not like broken bones or anything. Be like,
So, are you okay? Are you okay?
God bless you, my child. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm very well. I was busy tending to the pews when oh goodness me, that's
It does appear lightning has struck your bell tower.
yes. Won't happen again, will it?
I give like a really like tense smile and go, I don't think so. No.
Is there any kind of vibe I can pick up off this priest just as I'm observing?
We'll do a vibe check.
Vibe check.
Yeah, can I just do a quick vibe check?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go for smarts.
Ooh, yes, please. Thank you. That is no successes. I'm gonna use my banked luck here, and I'm gonna add one extra die. And I do not, but I get 2 luck in total.
You can use 2 luck to make 1 success if you like.
I will do that.
Vibe check of this guy is that he has just come out of a church that has been struck by lightning and has had lots of rubble and dust fallen on him. You expect he has been doing some work on the pews.
Weird.
You know
Who does that?
While you don't know this reverend by name, he seems a fairly respected member of the community, as one would have to be in order to be a reverend. And is, as far as you are aware, the reverend of this church.
Okay.
If you want to decide whether that's suspicious or not, that's up to you.
Well, I don't want Zack to flavor the reaction of Angus.
Naturally.
While they're tending the vicar, can I just kind of like nonchalantly kind of like take a bit of a wander in the vicinity, but I want to I'm searching for that individual just to see if they're behind any like tombstones or like corners or anything, but like walking around as if like I'm just taking in the air and smoking and stuff.
Sure. Roll me a smarts check, please.
Oh no, that's bad. That is 2 strange and 0 successes.
Ooh, 2 stranges.
That's not good. But it's 2 strange and 1 luck. But that's I will bank that luck. But it's 2 strange.
Why don't you say 1 luck? Can you roll me a luck check, please?
I can.
Oh God.
That's 3 strangers.
Something freaky's going on with Desmond.
Yeah.
3 strangers.
So 2 strangers on the first one on the intelligence check.
Yeah.
Sorry, and then 3 strange on the luck check.
Wow.
Oh.
Desmond's head explodes.
We just went from like a tiny tick to like halfway through the quarter.
Oh my God.
Desmond, you start sort of nonchalantly wandering around. You're rolling up a cigarette and you sort of start lighting it. You're looking around. You look up. You look at the church tower while you're walking. You fall into a grave.
Oh no.
What I will say is that this was not an open grave. You are walking and your foot crashes through the earth on top of a grave. You full body fall into this grave. You crash through the top of the coffin. And you land in a space where a corpse ought to be.
Oh my!
And there isn't one.
That's
There is
so much
not.
worse than there being one.
There is not a corpse there.
Oh, I scream at that point. That's terrifying.
Naturally.
I turn to the priest and go, one moment. And sort of like follow the sound.
Yeah. I'll
Desmond!
join.
Yeah.
Desmond, where are you?
I'm down here.
So get
Follow
you a
the
new
smell of
rat.
mustache wax.
Yeah. What are you doing down there, Desmond?
I kind of just look up with my soil-soaked like head and shoulders with like muck everywhere, and it's kind of like bent cigarette in hand, still lit, but I felt, get me out, get me out, get me out, and I kind of like just start to try and reach up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have anyone do any checks for that because, whoa. You are able to pull Desmond out of this empty grave. The headstone says Iris Fisher, and the year is the year that we are currently in, and the month is the month that you are currently in. It is but a matter of days since this coffin was buried, or this person was laid to rest.
What the fuck? I think as you are pulled out, Desmond, you see Angus just in as nonchalant a way as possible for Angus, just check you over and make sure you're okay.
I allow it, and I just stand there frozen, just staring down at the empty coffin.
Okay.
Don't worry, pull yourself together. I'm sure you'll be fine. We'll get you some tea, whiskey, opium.
Why is there no body in that here hole?
He brings up a good point.
Wait, what?
There is
What?
nobody in that here hole.
Oi! Priest! Come on.
Please, sir, we could use some assistance.
What's going on?
Oh, yes, Iris. What have you done with the body of Iris?
There was no body in the grave, mate.
Can you roll me a heart check, please?
I'm not good at heart.
He's gonna be like, shit, grave robbers.
One luck, one strange.
Thank the luck. That's strange.
Oh dear.
As you say, we're not grave robbers, he says, well, that's exactly what grave robbers. There's a grave robber, yes.
I'm sorry, my dear Reverend, where on earth would we put the body? We've only just got here.
That's a very good question. You've used the destruction of the destruction of my little church.
My dear sir, your concern is very clearly valid. However,
And I sort of gesture to my outfit and go, do you really think anybody would rob a grave dressed like this?
What are you, some sort of undertaker?
What?
I'm a magician, sir.
Wizard!
Lila Leclerc.
Wizard! Lila.
Nice! I say
Lila.
nothing.
Roll me a heart check, please.
Oh my days. That is one success. With two strange.
I'm afraid that is not going to do it.
Ah!
We were looking for
At least I
two
get a
there.
luck.
Yeah, but that was too strange, did you say?
Yep, two strange. a wit, a smart, and a luck. And my talent die
Excellent.
for the success.
Let's move that up one more.
You've clearly vanished this poor body away. We've had enough of your types around here, coming round and taking.
You know,
things
it's not
that don't belong
really
to you.
magic, right?
Yeah, some would actually call it a miracle. You believe in all that, right?
Look, sir, sleight of hand, and I'll pull like the cards I have up my sleeve. Like they're in my sleeve.
See, no corpses.
Did I hide a corpse up my sleeve? I don't think so.
Don't think so. She did have a corpse in her hat, but that was a different issue.
Yeah,
It was a rat, and it was supposed to be alive.
I should be clear on this.
Absolutely no truck with any of this.
And he sort of starts staggering around and getting really quite furious with you.
I actually mirror your want and need for being quite angry, because you, sir, will be hearing from my lawyer. I have fallen into quite a deep hole on your property, and you are the proprietor of such. Therefore, you owe me quite a bit of money.
Roll heart.
Okay, I'm going to use both of my luck on that.
The least charismatic group of fuckers in the world.
Okay, so that is 2 successes, no strange, and 1 luck. So
Great.
can I
Bank that luck.
I can bank it even though I've
Yep.
just used. Okay.
Yeah. Two things. He goes,
No, please. We've only just got the lead on the roof replaced. We can't afford to be. I shall have to.
his face goes pale,
Wait, no.
and he drops.
Mr. Shuttlethorpe, I do believe you killed the Reverend.
Not
I
again.
think we just put him in the
The-
hole, kick a bit of
the,
dirt, move on.
The doom clock will tick up by 1. Because you just killed a priest.
What do you mean we killed a priest? He fucking died!
He was incredibly angry, and then
Gave him a heart attack.
and then let's see. He'd previously had a load of rubble fall on him, and then there was a wizard, and then someone tried to calm him down, and then someone said, "Look, if you don't calm down, I'm going to get my lawyer on you." And he's fully aware that you did fall into a grave, and that is his fault. And unfortunately, he's very old and had a heart attack
I like how
and died.
I immediately said to whoever, go, I don't even have a lawyer.
Yes,
Comes back
yes,
to
but
life.
I think that's quite clear at this point. Oh, my days.
You hear a slathering, a panting, a growling. You feel hunger around you.
Do I feel that wave again?
Roll me a strange check even. Not a weird check, a strange check. Roll me a weird.
Weird chat.
1 success.
1 success is all you needed. Because you do feel that wave again. It starts around your shins. And then like rushes up to you. You turn this time towards it. And manifesting amongst the graves, you see the shaggy form of a hound. Larger than any dog you've ever seen. Its eyes burning red. Not like the rats. These are burning red, like embers in a fireplace. And it is standing there, looking straight at Des.
Okay, so Carter stares at this beast and just whispers, "Holy shuck. Desmond, don't look now, but there's the thing that we've kind of been... Everybody just fucking look."
Don't look. What?
You all see it. You all see the black shuck.
What do we do?
Oh my.
In your heads, you hear a single word. Run.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Great. Angus,
No.
you turn tail and run. Who else runs?
kind of a bit conscious that I'm leaving the body of a priest next to an open grave. No one saw us come up here, right?
Probably not.
Cool. Well, I remember. I run as
Don't
well.
listen to him.
I just kind of, like, no, I don't go anywhere.
You don't go anywhere. You stay there. Cool. Who else is running?
I don't think I'd run unless it comes at us. Can I be prepared to run in case something does jump out?
Yeah, absolutely. Carter, similar.
Carter is taking very slow steps backwards, but looking directly at.
Carter, roll me a luck check.
Oh no!
He falls
Oh
into
no
a
no
grave as well.
no!
I'm going to use one of my luck for that.
Yeah.
Oh!
Otherwise,
That's a success.
Is
And
it
a
success?
strange.
How many luck did you get?
1 luck.
1 luck. Okay. Yeah, you know where the grave is, so you don't step in it. You do start stepping backwards as you hear Angus just fucking sprinting. Yeah. Angus, as you peg it through this churchyard, you sort of are you weaving? You dodging? You sort of going between gravestones, trying to the headstones. Sorry,
unless
just
I
trying to...
hear it coming after me, I will just go the fastest, most efficient route possible.
Cool. The Shuck lunges.
I'm running.
At Desmond.
I step so that I'm between. I have the open grave between me and the ship.
Oh, that's so clever.
Roll wit.
I'm going to use one of my thingy die. And nice! I have 2 successes and 1 strange.
2 successes is what you needed. As you step deftly to the side as this hellhound lunges towards you, you notice its trajectory seems to be aiming for the grave.
Ooh.
As you step out the way, it is lunging towards the grave itself. You watch as it seems to go through the chest of this priest that you have put in the grave. Angus, behind you, you hear snarling.
Right behind me, like something's chasing me.
It's almost in your ear.
I duck, I weave, I move, I just...
Roll wit.
Wait a minute. I don't get it, and I get a weird. Or a strange. Sorry. I did get 2 smarts though, so maybe my big brain's too good for me.
Okay. So you are running, and you are desperately trying to get away from it, and you can hear it snarling, slathering. You can almost feel like saliva dripping on your shoulders, down your back. You can feel that hot breath against your neck. You are moving as deftly as you can, and it occurs to you that no matter how much you move or how quickly or slowly you move, it is still right there. So you turn and look, and there is nothing. And wherever you turn, you can still hear it just behind you.
Do I still see everyone ahead of me?
You still see everyone back where they were, yeah? Des has stood to the side.
I think I just say to everyone, I just stop and I turn to everyone and say, I think it's in my fucking head. It's in my head!
When Angus opens his mouth, no noise leaves it.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
What happens to me?
Angus, roll me a heart check.
No, I'm so bad at that. I didn't get it. I'm gonna use my banked luck on the off. Nope.
What did you get?
I got grit, smarts, and wit.
Okay. The panting is gone. The snarling is gone. You no longer feel a presence behind you.
Way to go.
Lila, you hear a snarling, a growling, a presence just behind the back of your head.
I feel like at this point, because I would have turned to run away, I'm now like facing Angus in the distance.
Yeah.
And so I'm like watching him perplexed as to why he's now just looking at me and not running. Yeah. Oh.
And you
Roll me a heart
presumably saw me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Roll me a heart check, please, Lila.
Yeah. I'm just like, Angus, just run! And all of that kind of thing.
No noise leaves Lila's mouth.
I thought so. That's 2 successes, also 2 strange.
Okay, and did you get any other things come up?
2 wit and 1 luck. But I can't bank it because I've already got 1.
Okay. The presence leaves.
What's going on here?
Wait.
No noise leaves Carter's mouth as he feels a presence behind his head. This oppressive force, Carter. This is strange. Roll me a heart check.
Nope.
What'd you get?
Two grit and a wit.
The presence leaves you. Desmond, you're looking down at the grave. You're looking up, looking around. And for the briefest of moments, you feel as though you can see that priest's eyes open and look at you. But it is, in fact, your own imagination. Misconstruing the stimuli of this oppressive force behind your head. The growling, snarling, slathering in your ear. Roll me a heart check, please.
We're one strange away.
I rolled a heart. I rolled a wit.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
The presence leaves you. And the priest looks peaceful. The headstone, you all turn and look at it, is blank. As the clouds roll in, fog lifts from the ground gently.
No one else is
As I believe that is the first quarter of the Doom Clock has been fulfilled. As fog rises and a chill moves through the air, you all hear a sonorous, blood-curdling coming from somewhere within the church. All of you, apart from Carter. Oh wait, no. What did Lila get on her heart check?
2 successes.
2 successes, yeah. And Carter, you got 2 successes, didn't you?
No.
No? Got my stats confused. All of you apart from Lila, I apologise. All of you apart from Lila see in the shadows, in the fog, the shadows forming within the fog. Well, Angus, you see people just walking away, but stretching their hands out towards you. Desmond, inexplicably and strangely, some leaves from the ground sort of fly up, whipped up by the wind, taking the form of a tabloid newspaper, rustling at you as the printed words on it have a single article that is your obituary. Carter, you see a figure who, seemingly from the waist up, doesn't exist. There's a pinafore, a dress. It's not that it doesn't exist, it's that you can't see it or conceptualize it. You can scarcely remember the face of your mother. As you feel the fog scolding you for something you didn't know you had to do. I need all of you to roll me a fear check, please. That's a strange check, yes.
Two strangers.
Two strangers.
Two strangers.
You can use a luck die on that. I will allow it. I don't know if
I'm going to use my luck die.
Lila, you don't need to.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's fine.
Two strangers.
Two strangers?
Wow, we all got two strangers.
Fantastic.
With a look, so I'm going to back.
None of you change your fear status. As these things present themselves to you, you hear across now the markets of Norwich people wailing and screaming and running. Pandemonium ensues. As you, well, I think you can extrapolate reasonably that fog that has risen from the ground is pervasive. It is invasive. It is getting into people's minds. And it is showing them their worst fears. The thing at the core of their being, whether it be rational or irrational, petrifies them. It takes them from being upstanding members of society and reduces them down to being nothing more than mewling spawn. Lila, you don't see anything weird in the fog.
It's just
But you see each of your companions react as though they have seen a ghost.
I sort of look around at them and I'm like, what did you see? What did you see? And like, particularly Carter, probably. I'm like, Carter, what did you see?
Mother? I'm very sorry, Mother.
Carter, I'm not your mother.
But I didn't know.
Desmond, Desmond, did you see your mother in the fog?
4 lousy sentences. That's all they had to write.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, fuck yes. So
Oh. Angus, come on.
Can't remember what their faces look like.
Oh. Right, okay, okay, everybody, circle time, I guess.
Lila's like there, like, I don't know what to do, so falls back on her stagecraft and drama games.
I love that. Roll heart for me. There'll be no negative consequences to this. I just want to know. I just want to know how therapeutic Zip-Zap Boing is.
That can be
That is-
quantified with game mechanics.
That is 0 successes and 3 strange.
I said there'd be no negative repercussions.
So it's a good
I'm
one for
not-
3 strange.
That's fine.
Still.
Good heavens. As you do this, you sort of bring everyone in. You just sort of like a hug circle.
Try and do a sort of breathing thing.
Yeah. No one's really buying into it.
Can I just
As you
check
do so-
nobody up their fear status, right?
No.
No one up there fear status. though.
Okay, because I have a thing for
They
that.
all rolled too well on their fear checks. You hear the sound of footsteps coming from the street. It is someone walking with purpose. It is someone who probably walks a lot. It is the sound of well-used but well-maintained boots. As you see, wearing a long trench coat with an exquisite mustache and a pipe. Someone who, Lila, you have seen in your audience a couple of times.
A distinguished gentleman, then.
Carter, someone who you have seen at a high society dinner at some point. May not have been one that you were at, but you've seen them there.
Through the window.
Desmond, that unmistakable scent of your mustache wax.
That be that sandalwood. Right, yeah.
And Angus, you see as they sort of round the corner, you recognize this figure. This is the figure of Detective Richard Leader. Or Dick to his friends. Not to his enemies. As he steps up, you all know him. Angus, when you were younger, Constable Richard Leader helped you. Not just got you out of scrapes, but gave you food, gave you money out of his pocket. Lila, he just loves magic. He just loves the craft, and he watches you do it. And at the end, will sometimes come up and ask you questions, but you never reveal your secrets.
Never.
But you feel like maybe he works it out. It's hard to say. Carter, he is an excellent conversationalist. Seems to know everything that's going on. And Des, he uses so much mustache wax. But more than that, more than that, since you sort of became acquainted with him, you have never been mugged. You have never had someone come up to your little stall and try and take money from you while you are selling. You've been mugged. It's Victorian Norwich. Of course you've been mugged. If you haven't been mugged, what are you doing? Are you even living?
That's all I do it for, is the mugging.
Exactly. Steps up. I say. Now, can't be a coincidence that my 4 favourite people will be standing in front of my favourite church on the same day that a body is torn open in the marketplace and a bell is knocked from it. I would say it's a coincidence, but the universe is rarely so laissez-faire.
Dickie.
Thank goodness you're here, Detective. Thank goodness. I really need to calm my friends down.
Dickie. Something's happening.
What's the matter, Angie?
Something bad's happening.
Well, yes, Angie. Someone has been torn nearly in half.
It's more than that. I see my folks. I see my brother.
Oh, Angie. He sort of pats his pockets down. Takes out a little mint humbug. And for those of you unfamiliar with a mint humbug, it is a black and white mint sweet with a toffee centre. Horrendous, but popular. And sort of gives it to you. There are. Look, how's that?
Thank you.
Focus on the unwrapping. Feel how it is in your mouth. You see, it's very brittle and then it's very soft. Focus on that.
Thank you.
Calm down, man. Calm down. Now. I shall ask you again, all nice and calmly. Why are you all here? Why do you all look so sheepish?
We followed a figure who ran from the scene at the market. But they disappeared. They came into this churchyard and just disappeared, and I don't know how they did it.
One magic trick you could never work out.
It's lucky we were here, actually, because as we came, we found that the priest has managed to fall down into this grave here and hurt himself.
Roll me heart. Roll heart for me. You fool.
Bald face
This is-
lying.
Yes! This is what I was gonna do.
That's 2 successes, but with 1 strange.
So, he is a detective whose job is working out if people are lying
Oh shit.
for a living. CR for him is 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is 1 strange.
Yep.
However, he... Oh, hang on. He looks at you, Des, and goes, Clearly there's a grain of truth in what you're saying, Des, old chap, and I know that you'd never lie for any reason other than to save your own hide. Now, why don't we quit with all of the tittle tattle and get down to really what happened? As I understand it, witnesses saw the 4 of you fleeing a crime scene after a series of rats appeared, erupted out of the sewers, and dropped dead. You then ran up to the church and are now found next to the body of a pastor.
Oh, my good detective.
I'm an excellent detective.
You are my excellent detective. I think you'll find, if you examine all of the facts, that we were indeed present at the rat apocalypse. You will notice that there was some form of a disembowelment.
I'll say.
Yeah, you do. I then noticed with my compatriots here that we decided to head over to this here church because we did hear screaming, and also a gentleman or a lady of heavy persuasion possibly was running. Maybe they had a cloak. I don't know.
They did. They had the cloak.
There we go. And
I see.
they ran to said church. At which point the good pastor here, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Takes out his hip flask.
Pours one out.
Pours one out.
He pours one out. I love it.
It's fine. It's sanctified.
It's communion wine.
Why do you think he's here? To pick up his weekly stash.
He's a very busy man. He's got to take community on the job.
He seems to intuit what you're getting at for expediency. I see.
Yeah, as you said, Leslie Fair.
That's right, Desmond. That's right.
And to top it all off, someone heard some horrendous howling coming from here.
Well,
After which point, every single person in this damn city saw their worst fear. Why? I myself saw a... Looks wistfully into the distance.
Oh God.
A crime I could never solve.
That tracks.
Oh, I love him.
He is my favorite. I would just watch this. In fact, can we do the rest of the stream just with him? We all watch.
Yeah. Can we just watch him solve the
Just
crime?
do a Victorian noir detective One Piece just with like a live audience of 4. No. Perhaps it'd be curious for you to know something. There's a pretty tricky blood trail down the market, and well, I had one of the crayon officers draw this up for me, and puts it in your hand. Carter says, "This looks like the sort of thing that you hide in your desk, Carter."
I mean, alongside the other things, indeed.
You can roll a weird or a smart, up to you.
I'm going to roll a weird because that's the most I have. 2
CR2.
successes.
Lovely. That's what we wanted. Yes, the blood does in fact seem to make some sort of strange sigil.
This looks like some kind of strange sigil.
Excellent. Excellent RP, everybody. We can go home. We did it.
Roll credits.
Specifically, this sigil is one that you have read about in a book that you perhaps don't own. Wink. This is a sigil for power. And the subtext for it, because there's lots of sigils of power. This is power from weakness, which can be intuited as drawing strength from other people's weakness. There is something unusual to it. You cannot quite place the make, but there is something in you that just speaks. That's what it is. It occurs to you that it would take a tremendous amount of strength to rip someone's ribcage open.
Not even... Would that be physically, or would that be some kind of occult method of doing that?
I mean, to physically do it would take a great deal of strength.
Yeah.
Occultally would take a great deal of magical strength.
Yeah.
Because, people move. They do. That's a fact.
They do. I've seen them.
You can take that to the bank.
He says, I don't know what you make of all that, but he... Very sorry, Chloe. Lila, can you roll me a heart check?
I can. That's 1 success, 1 strange.
The reason I asked you to roll a heart check is because he's sort of looking at all of you, and then he looks at you. There's, you know that disappearing act you do?
Well, yes. What about it?
Do you use the tunnels under the city?
Well, now. Well, I would never reveal my secrets, of course. But the tunnels aren't even connected to the theatre.
No, you're right. They go between the churches.
What? Multiple churches.
Yes, there's 51 churches in Norwich, one for each week of the year, apart from Christmas, where you go to the cathedral. So they say.
Oh shit!
You're saying somebody could disappear into one of these tunnels underneath the church?
Of course.
I mean, how else did they smuggle communion wine?
Those were dark times.
They were.
Dark times indeed.
Very dark.
Very dark. We do not talk of these times anymore.
Then why did you bring it up, Carter?
I'm sorry. I'm a crazy, crazy fool.
He likes the attention.
Lala,
Indeed.
Did you see where the person went?
No, they just came into the churchyard. I followed them in through the gate, and at that point I couldn't see them anymore.
Could they be in the tunnels?
Could I posit something?
Perhaps.
Dan?
Yes?
Sorry, I saw a hand raised.
If I, for 1 minute, think that the next suggestion is that, and I love you, Dickie, I do, but if you're going to suggest that we go down into them tunnels, then, sorry, this may be the second case that you don't solve.
Des. The Black Shuck. The Black Shuck has something to do with this. You don't want to know what that is?
Well, yeah, I do, but I don't know.
Look, I'm not saying that you need to go into the tunnels. I'm just saying, if someone ran into a churchyard and disappeared, that'd be my first port of call. Unless, of course... No.
What?
No.
No, go on. You always fucking do this.
Roll me a heart!
I got a weird and a smart. Fucking goddamn it!
That's a weird.
Tick tock, tick tock.
I'm just baiting you into rolling. It's great.
I keep calling it a weird. It's strange. Everyone at home, it's called strange, but I can't get it out of my head. It's called weird.
Because John is the weird.
Yeah.
That's his character archetype. John's not
not
weird.
me.
He's a very
Completely
nice, normal
different.
person.
I mean, I am weird, but
Looks at you, Angus. You see, Angus, I can't give you all the answers. Actually, I probably should in the
You're a
interest of
detective.
public safety and public health. Let's just say that the layout of these tunnels can be a little bit cryptic.
How long have you had that one, mate?
Just like disappears into the fog.
He just like sidles away.
You hear the flicking of like a single coin. Detective Dickie Leader has suggested that you go into the tunnels beneath the church, beneath the city, in fact. You do not have to do that. It is just useful, lovable NPC has come up. ACAP. So that is that.
hey,
I have.
sorry,
Go on.
after you.
No, I, Chloe, have a sneaky suspicion where the entrance to the tunnel is, but I don't believe Lila saw this particular incident occur, and Des was the only person to see it, i.e., the dog diving into the grave.
Yes. This is exactly what I was going to suggest. Desmond, would you mind getting back down into the hole and,
With the priest that
at the
died.
very least, just let us know?
Well, to be honest, I solved this part a long time ago. That's why I was down there in the first place. What happened, mate?
I always knew you were a superlative detective.
Which is
instead of
with your
his,
charades, Des.
Instead of the normal cigarette pocket, he goes into the inside one and special cigarette time. As
Special.
he
He takes out one of his opium cigarettes.
as he gets into back into the grave and starts. I'm going to try and like move the pasta to one side and see if there's like a way to.
I'm so sorry. My brain was like, pasta? Obviously.
I did the same thing.
Yes. No, I follow. I do apologise. Regional dialects are very funny.
Sorry, let me
Yeah.
do
So
over them up
my
because of Football
native
Dwarf.
accent. Pastor.
Should have called him a reverend and been done with it. Roll me a grit check to do that.
That is 0 successes, 0 strange, but I do get a look that I'm going to bank.
Bank that luck. You get down there and you start to pull apart, like at the wood. You start to try and break it. It feels very solid underneath there, actually.
How are you getting on?
It feels very solid in here, actually.
Priest, all right?
You hear on the wind, cryptic.
On the screen, you just see him walk by.
Is there a crypt nearby?
Oh, such a great question.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Isn't it just?
The crypt at this particular church, you will have to go inside the church to get to. Because I necessitate that. Because that's what I've said. I don't actually know where a church in this instance would be. But in this instance, it is under the church.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Is it demolished in any respect because of the bell? Or
So it's just like the top half of the church tower that is demolished. The rest of the church underneath, you expect on the inside, is mostly fine.
I'd be very careful because we do not know exactly what the structural engineers of the time thought would be good. So they probably didn't actually really think that a giant bell would fall on top of them, despite the fact that they put it up there. Fools. And
The 1300s was a
people
wild
generally-
time for the architecture.
Yeah. I don't think people generally assume lightning's going to strike them, to be perfectly honest.
fair point.
I'm desperate for you to roll a luck roll right now, Lila.
Okay.
You did call lightning.
One success and one strange.
One success was all you needed. And there's like a rumble of thunder. I'm sorry, that was intrusive thought DMing there. Like, how funny would it be if Lila
be
did get
hilarious.
struck by lightning?
Yeah.
You've got a very small chance of getting struck by lightning, however. So,
Can we head
What
into
do-
the crypt?
I think
Nice
yes.
and carefully.
I think we carefully make our way.
you head into the church. All of you going in?
Yes.
You cross the threshold into the church.
This is either a really
Um,
good thing or a really bad thing.
You look around and it is covered in dust. Everything is covered in just like white dust. The pews, the vestry, which I believe is the bit underneath the church tower. If not, it is just like filled with rubble. And the bit what the church tower is on top of is
Yeah.
filled with rubble. and stuff.
like.
Yeah.
Um,
My like Church of England upbringing just reared its head.
yeah. Unfortunately, I did not pay attention in church.
What's
The bit what's underneath the church tower is filled with rubble and stone, and you can see like bits of the bell like poking through. You also see something very strange. Right where a priest would give a sermon or a blessing or perhaps conduct a wedding, you see two figures that look as though they have been hanged by the neck. In the middle of the aisle, you see a figure who looks as though they have been cleft in twain. And the church doors slam behind you. And you see two massive claw marks in the door. Carter, roll me a weird. No, smart. Roll me a smart.
Of course you would. And I have to say here, this is holy ground, isn't it?
Is this holy ground?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So at this particular point, I am at minor disadvantage.
That's
Yeah.
fine. It's totally fine.
It's fine.
Totally fine.
We're okay. We're okay.
I mean, it's fine. I just got a strange. That's it.
Hey, ticking
There
the
is
doom clock up
something-
1 is nothing for you.
There is
Hey,
something
wait.
about this that feels familiar, and you are trying to assemble in your mind what about it is familiar. It is bizarre that it is familiar. You watch Carter look around, sort of almost confused, befuddled. I need the other three of you to please roll me a smart check.
One success, one luck.
Okay,
0 successes, but I got 2 looks, so 1 success.
lovely.
0 successes or strange, but I also get a look, so I'll bank that.
Lovely. Lila, Angus, after watching Carter sort of look confused and almost brain hazy, and that is exactly what it is, Carter. You're trying to think of this, and every time your mind is going through that library of books you've amassed, you just can't even like grasp the pages to look through them. You both look around. This is a strange situation to be in, as you are stood inside someone's mind's interpretation of an event that happened on the 4th of August, 1577.
Oh shit!
You look around, and there are the claw marks in the door. There are 3 dead parishioners. And there is a dead pastor as well. Although you cannot see them, you know that the pastor that was here is dead. You now see these 2 beings that look as though they were hanged. The ropes are not attached to anything. They're hanging there spectrally. The person cleft in half is just a shadowy impression of a person. And the two hanged figures turn and look at the four of you. There is no movement of their bodies or their heads or the rope or anything. And they start to float towards you.
Oh, no.
Nope. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn around and try and open the doors.
Yeah.
Roll me a grit check.
Can we both?
You can both roll grit checks, yeah.
One success.
No success and a luck.
Okay. Yeah, you can't open these doors.
In that case, can I take hairpins out and try and see if I need to pick the lock, as if that's the problem?
I will. What were the other dice that you rolled on yours, Isla?
I've closed it. I think
That's
it was
fine.
a smarts.
A smarts. I will tell you. I'm using your smarts. This is not locked.
It's
you
just not
can't
opening.
open this door.
Right. Okay.
Have you tried the
Running
door?
towards you.
Yes, it won't open, and it's not locked.
Where is the crypt?
I'm not going to describe it, but I will say that you will know how to get there. You can just run in that direction.
I would like to quickly say to everyone, just move to the crypt. Let's go. And move.
Yes.
Cool.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Thank you.
Beeline.
You scramble. You run. The two figures don't change their pace. And they... you don't know what they do, because you reach the crypt. And I assume you go down.
That's what Angus is doing, I think. But
Excellent. You scurry down into the crypt. Des. Immediately, you recognize some stains on the floor. Big red bloodish stain on the floor, with footprints that seem to match a previous investigation you were carrying out this very same day. As you all descend the steps into the crypt.
Watch how you go. Them footprints there seem to be exactly the same as the ones we saw in the market. So,
The rest of you, can you roll me a smarts check, please? Not Des, but the rest of you roll me a smarts check.
I'm gonna use my luck.
I
am also going to use my luck.
I have two successes, but I'm at like a minor disadvantage.
No.
So does that mean one?
Yeah, I'll say one. That's fine.
No. But no weird.
No smarts, no strange, or weird. We accept both in this house.
Strange. Yeah.
Nothing on my
Nothing for
roll.
Lila? Angus, Lila, you look at Des and you realise that, yeah, sure, he seems to know what he's doing. He seems fairly lucid. The reality of it is, Carter, there is no blood on the floor.
There is no bloody blood on the floor. What are you talking about, man?
The two of you look at the floor and notice that there is no bloody blood on the floor. What are you talking about, man?
Des, I think you're seeing things again. If it makes you feel any better, I don't think it's just you.
well, if there's no blood on the floor, does that mean that there's no ghoulies up there either?
Let's not take the chance on ghoulies.
I think we
I
need to
agree.
keep moving.
Yeah, my sentiment exactly.
Let's go.
I swear I could have.
Double time! Come on!
And he just moves on. Like,
You make your way into the crypt and very quickly realise that there is no exit in this crypt.
I'm very surprised there's no secondary exit in this crypt.
But we know that there's a tunnel of some
Everybody
variety.
don't panic. We know there's a tunnel, and if it's secrets, I'm good at finding secrets.
Find them! Quickly!
Find
ghoulies.
that secret.
Which is a slight lie, because she's actually good at making and disguising the secrets rather than finding them, but that's fine.
Yes.
It's just the same but backwards, right?
If you want to try and find an
Exactly.
exit, you are more than welcome to roll something to try and find an exit. If anyone has any abilities that might help you out here, you might be able to use those. if
Angus,
you wish.
Angus, you're very
don't think
excellent
so.
at finding things and going places.
I do well with navigation, not necessarily. I do well with navigation, not necessarily finding secret passageways.
Navigate us a passage!
Carter, roll heart, please.
There's one luck.
Excellent.
That's it.
Angus, you get no advantage
Okay.
from Carter yelling, "Find us a."
Navigate us a
Navigate us a
passage.
Okay, so can I roll a smarts check?
Yes, you can.
But I feel like Lila should roll. I feel like Lila should roll first.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
certainly.
roll or help or whatever.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's just that Carter was yelling at Angus.
Yeah.
In an encouraging
Lila.
manner, thank you.
Lila, Chloe, roll, because I feel like it'd be fun if the magician found it.
Okay,
Yes,
it would
absolutely.
be fun.
That will be smart.
Okay, so there is one strange. There are 0 successes, but again, I rolled 2 luck. It seems to be doing quite well for me today. So 1 success.
You investigate everything. You start looking around all the different coffins, or sarcophagi, I suppose is another way of describing it. You can't find like anything that would connotate a handle or anything. That was a fail. So that strange does mark 1 up on the doom clock. However, with the luck and the strange, you do find a symbol that you recognize. On one of these stone graves in this crypt, you see this strange angular symbol again, but no doors.
Can I? Okay, not doesn't matter.
So the
Okay.
angular
sure you can.
symbol.
Is
I
like
might have just-
on like emblazoned on a stone coffin.
Yes. I might have just missed it earlier. Where have I seen that before?
That was written on a bit of paper that was
That
given
was-
to Carter.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was-
that was the
Tower.
same one given to Carter. Right,
Yes.
okay, I'm with you.
Yes, sorry. That's on me for being non-specific.
Carter, come here.
Yes, coming.
Have you still got that piece of paper?
Indeed, I do. Which paper was it that you wanted? I've got this.
The
paper
one
here.
that Dickie gave you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, God, yes. Yeah, here we go. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay,
I'm
so
gonna just take it from him without saying anything, and then like put them side by side and directly compare them and be like, are they identical?
Yeah,
You
they
know.
are. They are more or less identical.
okay, I'm gonna
And then
get
I, like,
strange
slap
on
it.
this mofo.
Yeah.
You get
Slap it and I
strange
go,
on
they're the
this
same. The tunnel is here. I am certain of it.
I'm gonna see if there's something that I can do of occult leaning that would
Okay.
allow me to open up a passage.
Speak to me about your occult leanings. What's your approach here?
I will.
I'm jumping out the driving seat, and you've got the wheel.
Okay. Get ready to crash.
Woo!
Carter will trace the sigil with his finger, assuming that he can just make one long, continuous path. And
Yes, you're able to do that.
he will think back to his times when he's looking through the various tomes that he has, and he's going to use his illusion to create a key and an imaginary lock.
Yeah. Roll strange for me.
Go on.
Absolutely. 2, dos.
Dos.
You guys have never seen Carter do this.
No.
As
I feel like Lila was like so certain, like, yes, we're going to puzzle this through, and then Carl starts doing this, and she like slowly backs away, like, wait, no, that's not.
As you trace it, and he becomes almost trance-like, touching it.
What are you doing?
His skin, like the color, seems to leave it ever so slightly, but the color in his eyes intensifies. And he traces it, and you guys see as a key hewn in purple magic appears, and like a lock almost appears on this coffin. Key just presses in and twists. The coffin sinks into the floor, becoming a step that goes down into a set of tunnels. And that is where we're going to leave it for this evening.
That was so good.
Oh, that was
Excellent.
a really great game.
It was so good.
Thank you all so much for humouring me thus far. That's right, you can die next time.
Good. So
Well,
good.
I hope you have been enjoying yourselves as much as we have been enjoying ourselves. Obviously, part 2, God willing, will be here tomorrow. Which is very exciting.
Spooky.
Indeed. Before I ask each of us to say goodbye and plug ourselves, I would like to remind these wonderful viewers that there's so much happening on the Actual Play UK channel. So on Thursday, you've got Delta Green. That's going. It's going. You got to keep up. It's so good, and you got to keep up with it.
I know, because I run it.
Yeah. But I'm the host. Right now, I mean. Strictly in a parasitic sense. On the 3rd and 10th of November, you can catch Heart, which I have been... I've been peeping in on their stuff. Is that Zack? Is Zack?
I'm in it. I'm in it.
Zack's in it.
Zack's hearting. Zack, you got a quick pitch for Heart?
If you want to see 4 nasty little folks head down on a suicide mission into the disgusting depths of this eldritch horror and see what happens, you will
Watch
not want to
this
miss
show.
it. Watch this show. Yeah, you could
just
see part 2
described our game.
tomorrow, or you could see Heart in November. This is one of the most iconic games designed by Grant Howitt and Chris Taylor. You don't want to miss this one. It's mapped by merely role players running it. It's going to be amazing. My character is basically fantasy Kendall Roy, so hey, that's fun.
Thank you, Zack. And then on the 17th and the 24th, you can catch 13th Age. And I've got a note here again that says,
It's Zack running that.
with Zack.
Zack,
So if you're...
are you doing anything with your life other than this?
No, allegedly.
If you're hungry for TTRPGs, you can tune in to Actual Play UK and get yourself a little snack with Zack.
Look, I didn't intend it to play out like this. But I ended up kind of drafting into the Heart game, so it did end up being a month of me, and I'm sorry. But also, I'm delighted to be here with the audience.
Month of Zack.
Month of Zack
Hey,
is
Zack,
good.
tell us about 13th Age.
So 13th Age is an amazing game made by 2 amazing designers who worked on D&D 3rd edition and D&D 4th edition. It's a rules light version of kind of what you'd expect from a standard 5e game. And it's a game I've run a lot on Realms of Peril and Glory in our Vale setting. We are bringing that setting to Actual Play UK with one of our characters doing that. I'm actually, if you want to just see how this operates, I'm not actually going to run the NPCs in that game. I'm working with a co-GM, James Barbarossa, who is going to play all the NPCs. So just for that novelty alone, maybe go check it out. It's a lot of whimsy and fun, and it's going to be a kind of a detective-y time, I think. We haven't quite finalized it, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So tune in just on those merits alone.
Fantastic. Of course, you'll get notifications of any show going live on Actual Play UK if you smash that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, click it, It's down there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Why haven't you done it yet? I'm
Come
not
on,
actually going to
please.
leave. No, this is fine because that turns people off. Really do appreciate it. Any help you can, find us online at Actual Play UK. We are on X
No.
Nope.
and Instagram at Actual Play UK. Are we on the Blue Sky?
You know
remember.
what? We will be at this point.
We will be.
What a weird thing to say.
I can get you a code, John.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Hit me up, baby.
Get you in. And we're in your hearts and minds as well. Speaking of which,
Always behind you.
always behind
Scowling
you,
and
just here.
Salivating.
I would like to say a huge thank you to John. Let's start with John because we start with John. John, thanks so much so far. Plug, where can people find you?
You can find me here.
Just there.
Just behind you.
Slapping.
You find my drool on your shoulder? That's me.
Oh my god.
You could be entitled to compensation.
No win, no fee. You can also find me on Trolls of the Two Tunbridges podcast, or TOTTB, on all of the social medias. Obviously, Actual Play UK, you have done such a lovely job of plugging and asking people to subscribe. So I shall move on to the other lovely people.
Let's talk about Zack again.
Why? Okay, so if you see me on Actual Play UK and you think I need more of this person for some reason,
why wouldn't
Just
you?
watch
Because
the
why
next
would
month.
you? Why would you? Because I'm here too much. You can find me on Realms of Peril and Glory. At the time of release of this, we are doing a very fancy game set in a haunted carnival in our Vale setting again, playing that 13th Age I just pitched you. And it's a series called Carnival de Vale, and we have a special guest, one of the players on the Next Dimension 20 season, the GM of the Rotating Heroes podcast, and one of the hosts of Three Black Halflings, Jasper William Cartwright, will be joining us as a guest player on all 3 episodes, and that is out now. If you are watching this, if you're watching this, it's out now. So check out the Realms of Peril and Glory feed.
It's just
to see
there.
that. It's just behind you.
Thank
And
you
it's quite
so
funny.
much. Thank you so much, Zack. Chloe.
Hi! If you like more of me and my fancy hats, I promise I actually only have one. You can find me... Well, I have one physical hat, I have many metaphorical hats. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Chloe_with_the_flow. I'm on the Deck of Many Aces podcast, an actual play D&D podcast made with actual asexuals and aromantics, and we will hopefully have just released, by the time this comes out, special Ace Week episode where we will be going over all of our different characters and what's kind of already happened and just having a kind of talk back episode. So it's a great place to jump in, pretty much. You can also find me over on A Rendezvous with Destiny, which is another actual play podcast where we play Bite Marks, where we're all really good werewolves and terrible people.
Such a good pitch. That's a
yeah.
fantastic tagline.
Really good.
It's not the tagline, I made it up, but I think it should be. I also stream on Twitch, and I act, I sing, I compose, so if you want to hire me, please do. I always need money as a freelancer. Hey!
She comes with a
That's
hat.
enough from me.
Thank you ever so much, Chloe and Dan.
Hi. Well, if you do want to see more of me, hopefully I'm going to come back on this kind of stage again. I can keep seeing casting calls, so you may see more of me on here in the near future. But if
Well,
you wanna
hopefully they'll see you tomorrow.
Well, as well as that. But if you want to see more of me beyond there, then you can find me over at Tales on Tap. We're on Twitch, Twitter, not X, Twitter, Instagram, Facebooks, all that kind of fun stuff. But we also release all our videos live, weekly. All the VODs are uploaded on YouTube, so you can find us there as well. And when this releases, in 2 weeks' time, we've got our brand new campaign launching, which is called Erelon, A Destined Journey. It's a homebrew world full of homebrewy things with brand new characters, level 1 through
God knows how long. These players are probably going to want me to do this for the next 6 years. So jump in then. But I just want to say thank you so much for having me on today. This has been so much fun. Really enjoyed this.
And I hope tomorrow is as fun and much more traumatizing.
That's why we're here.
I am, have been, and will continue to be Josh. You can find me on Twitter and everywhere, basically, by looking out your window. Look to the stars.
On a cold, foggy morning.
You will find me at Joshy Longlegs. That is on Twitter. That is on Instagram. That is on Blue Sky. That is even on Twitch and itch.io as well. Well, I've only got one game on there at the moment, but I've got more coming. Do you like the idea of a game whose title is Final Horse Girl?
Oh,
working on
wow.
TM.
Yes,
TM,
I
TM,
do.
TM. That's me personally. I DM for the podcast Dice and a Slice, the only D&D 5e podcast powered by Baked Goods. You can find that wherever you cast your pods. And finally, I'm going to do a dirty plug. I run a company called Fable Events, and we use TTRPG games as team building activities for corporate folks. If you are part of a small team and your team doesn't get D&D, head over to fableevents.co.uk and see if you can have a boss battle instead of battling your boss.
Nice.
That's one of our taglines. And the other one is,
Love it.
will you accept the conference call to adventure?
Oh.
Otherwise,
Wow.
I have been Josh. Every single person has been absolutely fantastic. This has been Actual Play UK. Have a spooky evening, and we will see you tomorrow night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.